State's next witness.
Yes, sir. Sean Atkins.
Sean Atkins, please. Mr. Atkins, if you'll come right here before the clerk and do as best you can, raise your right hand for her to administer the oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth?
Well, he's coming in here with a broken arm already. I mean, man, you can tell this witness really wants out of jail. I mean, really wants out of jail.
Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Atkins, if you come right around this way, the bailiff will help you into the witness chair. Whoops. And if you can, just scoot up as close as you can to that microphone. Just speak loudly into the microphone so everybody can hear you, all right?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Corey, you're right.
Yes,
ahead.
Your Honor. State and spell your name for the record.
Sean Lee Atkins, ShawnLeeAtkins.
Are you currently incarcerated in the Florida State Prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell these jurors the circumstances of your incarceration.
On March and April of 2013, not only did I steal gold from a family member of mine and sold it, I also broke into a house of a lady friend of my grandmother's, sold gold from there too.
Tell them why you did that.
I was homeless. I had trying to get to Illinois to a place where I could live, have a house, and get a job.
Did you admit to those crimes?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you get convicted as a felon of those crimes?
Unfortunately, yes.
By whose?
Okay, so the crimes, although bad, don't sound that bad. He sold some gold from a family member, okay. Well, that would piss you off. And then he broke into a house of a lady friend from the family or something and sold gold from there too. Big on selling gold. But apparently, only just to get to Illinois to start a new life.
Office were you prosecuted?
Clay County in your office.
How many felonies did you plead to?
25.
Were they all connected to those same instances that you just described to the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
Were they different counts?
25. 25 times he sold gold from a family member. It's quite a lot, isn't it?
But all involving the same instances?
Hello, Rayanne. How you doing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And were you sentenced by a Clay County judge?
Yes, ma'am.
To what term of prison?
7 years.
All right. All of this occurred.
7 years, huh? I mean, that's a while, isn't it? That might as well be 10. And if it's 10, 20 ain't gonna be, 20 would be double bad. But you know what I mean? It's, you're heading that way. There's not much above 10. There's 12, 15, and 20. That's all there is. And all of them are bad.
Occurred after November of 2012. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to your incarceration.
But I think charging them as 25 is certainly something that we could safely consider as them throwing the book at him, right? That's, there was probably some wiggle room, but they went in hard.
Incarceration, or I guess we'll go with the arrest. When were you first arrested for the crimes that led to your incarceration?
May 4th, 2013.
Okay. Prior to that time, where were you living?
At my grandmother's house.
Every time I hear a date from the early teenies, is that what they're called? I don't want to use that word. 2013, 14, every time I hear a date relating to that, those little points of time, I immediately think, gee, what were Wendy and Dan up to at this point? May 4th, 2013, let's think. Well, yeah, they were still embroiled in the divorce. That wasn't settled until, July 31st, 2013. And probably this was around the time that things were getting hot around the plan, right? Before before Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera were hired, the year before, they were hoping to get someone else to murder Dan, probably before the divorce was finalized, so that Wendy would be still married, as far as the law is concerned, to Professor Markel, and automatically, probably, inherit all of his assets. No holding the trust fund with Shelley and having her be the custodian of the money. No, all of those things. The house would have automatically gone to Wendy in its entirety, you know? And if that is the case, if Charlie had already been enlisted and instructed to get the murder done, get someone to get the murder done before the divorce was finalized, and if that was the plan, can you imagine how pissed Wendy was that he fucked it up? And she had to divorce him before he was murdered. And then had these difficulties later on with the estate, right? She'd be pissed.
House.
Where is
and
that
then
located? Not a specific address, just a county?
Orange Park, Clay County.
Okay. And did you ever live part of the time in Duval County?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me take your attention back to November of 2012. Did you have an occupation at that time?
No, ma'am.
Were you earning any money whatsoever at that time?
No, ma'am.
Did you have a girlfriend at that time?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Was she a serious girlfriend?
Yes.
Did she have any employment towards the end of November of 2012?
Yes, she just got a job a couple days prior.
Did she have a place to live?
No, ma'am.
On that Thanksgiving weekend of November 2012, where were you and your girlfriend living?
In my 88 Dodge Dakota out on the streets of Orange Park, Jacksonville.
An 88 Dodge Dakota. Let's bring that up. Okay. Well, I like it. Let's have a look at it in purple. Save image, Dodge. So he was living in an 88 Dodge Dakota when he should have been living in a 2026 Toyota Tundra. But this is a nice truck. This is a nice truck. Anyway.
You were literally living in your car,
Yes, ma'am.
and she was living in your car with you?
Yes, ma'am.
How would you bathe?
I had friends that would help us out with bathing if it really came down to it. I went to a bathroom at a gas station or a store and washed in a sink.
Christina says, I think Wendy would have dragged her feet if she wanted to delay the divorce. Yeah. Unless she'd entirely lost faith in Charlie's competence to actually get it done at a later stage and wanted to try another way because, you know, there's certain things that she was doing, you know, after that point, you know, by Halloween, pretending to buy the house on fake Lane, you know, the game seemed to change a bit. So maybe she thought, well, there's no point in delaying the divorce because Charlie's too incompetent to actually get the murder done, so we're going to have to try a different way. And then when they tried a little way in that way, realized they had to come back to the murder, but at that point she'd already divorced him. It could be like that. It could be like that.
What was your girlfriend's name?
Lauren Alderman,
Have you seen her since your incarceration?
one time in June, but not since.
Okay. Let me take your attention to the Friday evening after
Yeah, she made it to Illinois and she's seeing someone else now. But she said to give her a call in 7 years when I get out.
Thanksgiving, which was November 23rd of 2012. around 7 o'clock that evening. Do you recall that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall events that occurred at a gas station near where you were living out of your car?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's go back to the 7 o'clock hour. Where were you and your girlfriend specifically parked in your vehicle?
Before we went to the gate, we were parked at the Winn-Dixie on the right-hand side of it, and she had to use the restroom, so we went to the gate, and then we parked in the farthest left spot.
Okay, hold on just a little bit, because I do
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
clarify a couple of things for the jury. What would you, 7 till about 7:30, what were you and Miss Alderman doing?
Listening to music on the radio, talking, reading books. That's about it.
Okay, we're going to show you a photograph marked into evidence as State's Exhibit 3. And while this does not depict the Winn-Dixie, can you show them the general area of where you were that evening?
Touch a screen.
Yes, please touch the screen.
That way, a little.
That way, a little more.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
What were the traffic conditions that evening at Southside and Bay Meadows? Was it heavy traffic?
It was Jacksonville traffic, not very heavy, not too heavy that light.
All right. And describe again the vehicle that you two were in.
A brown 88 Dodge Dakota with a one bench seat.
All right. And had you been familiar with that intersection prior to that night of kind of living at the Winn-Dixie?
Yes, ma'am. One time I lived close by there.
All right. Why did you leave the Winn-Dixie to go to the gas station?
Lauren had to use the restroom.
What time approximately, if you can recall, did you pull out of the Winn-Dixie?
About 7:20, if that, maybe a little bit earlier.
And can you show the jurors on that photograph by drawing the route you took to go into the gas station? When you entered, were there sufficient parking spaces available for you and Miss Alderman to pull into?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at what end of the station did you pull in?
The left side.
From the driveway? When you turned, which way
Oh, I
did
took
you-
a right after getting in the driveway.
Okay, and then you pulled in immediately to your left?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me show you State's Exhibit 8 and ask you, sir, in relation to this photograph, this obviously was not what appeared when you pulled in, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But just show the jurors approximately where you pulled in and parked. All right. At that time, when you pulled in and parked, was there anyone other than you and Miss Alderman in your car?
No, just me and Lauren.
And at the minute you pulled in, did you pull in frontwards?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, just normal? And was there anyone to your right in the parking space immediately to your right?
Not when anyone immediately to my right. No.
Okay. How about 2 parking spaces over?
No.
And then 3 parking spaces over from where you were?
Yes, ma'am.
What color car?
Red Durango.
All right. Did you notice that car when you pulled in?
Not immediately when I pulled in. No.
All right. Were your windows up or down?
Down.
And did Miss Alderman open her passenger door to get out?
Yes, ma'am.
When she opened her passenger door or through your windows, which were down, did you hear any unnecessarily loud music?
No, ma'am.
Would you have noticed loud music?
Honestly, no. I lived in the city so long, I just ignore it and drown it out.
All right. Did Miss Alderman close the door after she got out?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you go inside?
I was watching my truck, make sure no one stole any of our stuff out of it.
Your personal items were actually in your truck where you were living?
They were in the bed of my truck in a little, Starlight tote case.
All right. What were the weather conditions that you recall that evening?
Clear, a little humid.
How long do you think Miss Alderman was inside the gas station?
5 minutes, a little bit more.
Could you see into the red Dodge Durango?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And could you hear anyone saying anything from the red Dodge Durango?
No, ma'am.
What were you doing yourself while you were waiting for Miss Alderman?
Just
Okay, we really should start calling our videos Other Trials, but with Adelson nuggets, because I'm happy to discuss that also. Christina says, Wendy didn't realize at that time that Dan would never allow her to move, or that he was going to be a major part of her life through visitation and shared parenting. So you're saying that Wendy expected that Dan would easily give up on being a part of the boys' lives and allowing her to move away? I'm not sure about that. Why would she expect that? He'd given no indication of that. Even with the $1 million. Are you expecting that Wendy, who knew Dan, at least, even if he didn't really know her, that she expected him to be the kind of person to say, to look himself in the mirror and say, I took $1 million to have nothing to do with my children. Because that would take a special kind of person, wouldn't it? Whatever the money, you'd always have to know that you sold something that should be priceless.
Observing, I guess, is the easiest way to put it.
And while you were there waiting for Miss Alderman to come out of the gate gas station, did you observe and hear something very unusual?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell these jurors what happened.
I heard 2 gunshots. Sounded like firecrackers going off to my right.
And is that what drew your attention to your right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if,
No, it wasn't. Actually, a squirrel ran holding a pizza box. And that caught my attention. But it also happened to be in the same direction as the gunfire. But if it hadn't have been for that squirrel running with a pizza box, I might have not even looked over.
you were, if I am in your driver's spot right here, then you're saying you heard sounds to your right,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? And then approximately how far from where I am to where our bailiff is, where our police officer is, would you say you saw the red Dodge Durango?
Oh, was it Hanukkah today? Well, we better put up a menorah for our coffee logo. What is the most Jewish cup of coffee that you could have? What is customary to order coffee? What style for the Jewish community? How do we put up? Well, there's the truck. Let's go back to the truck for a moment. We'll make that a menorah to celebrate. How do I spell menorah? I'll guess. Badly. Oh, there we go. Okay, I only got one letter wrong. Oh, they got some pretty ones. Which one should we have? How about this one? Ooh, there's a nice cartoon one, yeah. That'll do. That'll do. Menorah. Yeah. So please do support the channel with a Jewish coffee, whatever that might be, on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix. Also, PayPal, also very good way to support the channel. We can create a goal. If people hate other apps that are better, and just want to support here, they should have a voice also. I mean, if you've got a special comment, a great comment, send us a little super chat. And are we ready? We're ready. So happy Hanukkah. Support Jewish coffees and enjoy the show. Yes.
Tell us where in the courtroom that would have been if I'm you in your vehicle.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. Just continuing this little Wendy detour. Christina says, I'm saying she did not see it coming to the degree that he fought her. Really? Why not? I mean, he's... I can't imagine that Dan fighting her hardly was a surprise to Wendy. I mean, at the very least, it would have been 50-50. And Wendy's plan seems to have these branches, right? If you imagine, what do you call it? You call it is it a chain of events diagram, or it's like if this, then that, you know? You go down the plan from the start at the top and then down, and it's like, as soon as there's something that could go either way, it's like, if it does go that way, then we're at this point, like a family tree, just like a family tree, right? But if it doesn't, then we do this. There's always this kind of branching to her plan, it seems to me, because, you know, there's a lot that was left to multiple outcomes happening. Going into the police interview would be a big one. You know, the interview went the way it went, but if it had gone another way, whatever that might be, you know, she would have had some pre-thought to dealing with it in that situation. You know, she's got this, which apparently she's also been able to keep all of this in her head, which is amazing. It would be amazing to have it written down as a big diagram, but obviously that would be, imagine what a piece of evidence that would be if we could see the sketches, the early sketches from the Wendy Adelson plot. Just imagine if she's covered a wall in, you've seen Prison Break, where, what's his name? Michael Scofield is working out the plan before he goes into the jail to break out. And he's got all the blueprints, and then he gets it tattooed on his body. I mean, in code. What a great idea for a show that was. Yeah, I liked Prison Break. It was pretty good. Definitely the first season. Well, all of them. All of them were pretty good.
Probably 5-6 feet before her.
Okay, could you walk this way towards me? I would like for you to tell our officer when to stop when you think that's where.
Right about there.
Right about there. And did you notice any vehicle on the other side of the red Dodge Durango?
Not till it backed out.
Okay, so at this point, thank you so much, Sabrina. At this point, then, what did you see right there from here to there? Was there anything obstructing your view?
Just the Durango.
Okay, and how many shots did you hear
I heard 2 before it backed out and sped off.
before what backed out and sped?
The Durango.
Okay, when you say backed out and sped off, can you exactly describe the motion of the car? In other words, did it back straight out, or did it do a turn and then head out?
I believe it backed straight out. A little bit foggy on that one, but it backed straight out and drove off right behind
David, hello. Shiny, hello.
me.
Okay, and when you say it drove off, did you notice which direction that vehicle traveled?
My left.
It's 4:15 a.m. Hello, Shiny. 4:15 a.m. The sweetest hour.
Okay.
Toward
Are you
north.
familiar? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I talked over you. Start over. Did you notice in which direction that vehicle traveled?
Northbound. They were trying to go to, it looked like they were going south side Boulevard.
But could you see it after that point?
No, ma'am. As soon as they left the parking lot, I lost view of it.
What drew your attention back over into the area where the Durango had just been? Were there more shots fired?
Yes, ma'am.
How many more?
About 4 to 5 more, maybe more than that.
And was the red Durango still there when that second set of shots was fired?
No, ma'am.
Was it driving?
Yeah, they were driving off.
Okay. Now, did you?
This is a witness at the scene, David Anderson Kirk. This is the witness that got the license plate. Nobody else had checked. Nobody else had checked. But he didn't want to stick around because he was on parole, and But he went in and wrote down the license plate and gave it to one of the cashiers, I think. But anyway, he's doing 7-year stretch for stealing gold from his family members and selling it so that he could get to Illinois and start a new life. But they threw the book at him and gave him 7 years, and you can just tell that he's having a really fucking hard time in jail. I mean, look at him. Even, like, there's just his size, but there's also this look of just someone who's fucking broken with shame and helplessness. 7 years. So he must really want to get out, basically, is what I'm saying. But he has got information. Good information. It's that information that we're listening to right now.
You see who was shooting.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to describe to this jury who was doing the shooting.
An older gentleman with white hair. And honestly, if I saw him on the streets, he looked like a businessman kind of thing. He was dressed nice. Had a nice car and everything.
Okay.
Well, it was a Volkswagen. I mean, I think there's something quite funny about Michael Dunn's Volkswagen.
Did you see how he fired the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Judge, may he stand up and demonstrate for the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I realize you have shackles on. Are you able to do it from there? Okay, stay by that's all right, stay. They can't see you. I need you to come towards our bailiff. All right, and just show the jurors the stance you saw that person take.
I don't like how this attorney speaks like a flight attendant, you know? It's like this sort of very robotic kind of thing, I don't know.
How did you describe?
So we got plain coffee. Okay, so is this a Jewish coffee? This is a Jewish coffee, everybody. Plain coffee, whole bean or ground. Unflavored, regular black coffee is inherently kosher and does not require a special certification. Hechsher, as the only contact is with water. Okay. Good. Well, that's what I drink anyway. Plain black coffee with no sugar or milk or nothing. So, yeah. Which makes it even better. Today is Hanukkah Day, only at buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix to support the channel.
That stance.
And to support the brand new channel that's coming real soon on our 2nd birthday. Wow.
A police stance.
Okay, you better get back on the microphone. Why did you describe that as a police stance?
It's like trying to either hide behind a door or get better aim.
All right.
Yeah.
And after the person
A police stance from what? From a Burt Reynolds movie.
after you saw the shooter in that position, what did you see him do?
He closed the door of his car, and his lady friend came out of the gate.
All right, hold on. How did you know it was his lady friend?
At first, I didn't know till she hopped in
Yeah, a woman would suffice. His lady friend.
the car.
All right, you saw a lady hop in his car.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see where that lady had come from?
She came from the cash register.
Okay. And you were still watching all of this from your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that sidewalk that runs from the in front of your car where the
Man, this guy saw everything. I mean, he's like the Terminator. You know when the Terminator does that thing to check if people are Sarah Connor?
circle is on the photo, all the way to the front door of the gate? Is that fairly well lit?
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, can you see the outdoor lighting in this photo?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
And is that what allowed you to see from your car to that
Yes,
dark
ma'am.
vehicle? Were you sure that the person that was the driver of that car that the young lady got in, was that the same person who fired shots at the Durango?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And sir, did you hear the lady say anything to the driver?
I ain't hear her say anything, but the look on her face said enough.
All right. What did the look on her face say to you? Describe it.
Horror.
horror?
Horror.
Okay. And did you hear the driver that you had seen shooting, could you hear him say anything to her?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, did you then, what happened then? I'm sorry, strike that. Did you ever get out of your car at that point?
No, ma'am.
Did you get out of your car immediately after you saw the young lady get into the dark car?
Not until they drove off.
All right. Did you watch them drive off?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do?
I turned around and got the license plate number.
What made you turn around and get that license plate number?
I don't know. I guess instinct. Something told me that's what I should do.
All right. And did you?
Because he's a good man. Everyone else was ducking for cover or running back inside. This guy, he knew. It was a sense of duty. You know, like that bit when you're driving and you get a little bit excited because an ambulance is suddenly behind you and you've got to do something that normally you wouldn't be allowed to do, but it's an emergency. So yeah, you're just like, straight up on the curb, out of the way. I'm doing my bit. I'm doing my bit. Clear a path. You know, isn't that a little bit exciting? I mean, sometimes when I go out for a drive, I hope and I pray that there will be an ambulance behind me. So I can do, so I can take action in an emergency. It is fun.
Did you memorize that license plate number?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. How did the shooter drive off?
Fast. They drove off the same direction as the Durango. With a little bit of speed.
Did you stay?
They drove off the same direction as the red Dodge Durango, very tacky. God, imagine if he'd have chased them down, followed them into the other fucking parking lot, because they only drove out. The red Dodge Durango drove out and went like to a parking lot of a strip mall on the opposite side of the street, like right there, just to get the fuck away from all the death that was being sent, right? And then drove back to the gate, but they'd already gone. Michael Dunn had already gone. But imagine another scenario where he followed them into the parking lot and then took aim again. Oh, I loved that bit the other day from one of his letters where he says, maybe, this has to have happened for a reason. So maybe this was part of God's plan. This was part of God's plan. I would do this as a warning, as a message to the 3 boys that did survive, for them to start living right and getting off the streets, going back to school, trading their dope for what's something educational that rhymes with dope? Trading their dope for... Can't think of anything. Can't think of anything at all. But, so basically what he was saying by that idea is that he was sent by God to be there that day and take the action he did, because God wanted to show the 3 boys that did survive what can happen if you live like a thug and play your music loud.
In your car after you had memorized his license tag number?
For a second, just to make sure he drove off a little bit, and then I went.
And there's quite something. There's quite something about that. I don't want to say things as commonplace as pointing out the narcissistic, the extreme narcissism that's available to us there. But the thing is, even those of us that would feel like want to say something like, yeah, maybe God sent me to murder the child, most of us would be able to know how that would sound, right? And even if we did feel that, would not say that because, yeah, maybe I was sent by God. That's essentially what he was saying, right? I mean, that's going... that if he knows he did wrong, which he surely does, right? He surely... all of this idea that he was threatened, he knows he was being a fucking asshole. And he knows he was looking for a fight. So... and, you know, he's not going to admit that. But he doesn't need to overcompensate. You know, there's back to the normal point, the normal range, and then there's going beyond that to saying, yeah, this was part of the Lord's work.
Went up into the gate gas station.
All right. What did you do when you got inside the gate gas station?
I gave the first cashier I seen the license plate number.
Did she write it down, or did you write it down?
I wrote it down for her.
I'm going to show you what's been marked into evidence in State's Exhibit 170. 170. And I'm going to ask you, sir, is this the brown bag that you were given to write the license plate number on?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that the license plate you actually wrote yourself on there?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you read that license plate to the jury?
Yes, ma'am. It's Florida 937 VMV.
What did you do with this brown paper bag after you wrote that in your own handwriting?
Handed it to the cashier.
All right. And Judge, may I publish to the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you like me to show it or pass it?
Either, whatever you prefer.
And could you remind them they'll get all of these exhibits later?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the exhibits that you're seeing, the photographs and this exhibit here, and there'll be others, you will get copies of and be allowed to take back into the jury room with you to review during your deliberations.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, where was Miss Alderman at the time you were doing this and giving this piece of paper to the clerk?
Well, when I went in there, I thought she was in the bathroom. I guess while I was writing down the license plate number, she crept on past me, sort of. I didn't see her go by.
I'm sorry, I missed the last thing you said. We just took the photo down. Go ahead, repeat the last thing you said.
I said that when I was giving the license plate number to the lady,
Okay, a little coffee update here. Hello Shiny says, I have coconut sugar with my coffee because it's flavorful, manly, and not too sweet. I had made almond and cashew milk. I handmade almond and cashew milk. I bash up myself in mortar and pestle and some dark Dutch cocoa. I mean,
she must have walked on past.
that sounds like a lot of work, you know. I mean, you know, honestly, just try black. Just try black, you know. I mean, all that stuff will just become unimportant. And you know, the nice thing about it is it's quick, right? And there's nothing else to worry about. You can focus on the coffee. Okay. What about the emus? How do they like their coffee?
Past me from the bathroom, because I went in there to go see if she was there to get her to go, and she was already in the truck.
She was in the truck.
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, at that time, had she seen or heard anything?
She didn't see nothing.
Did you leave the...
She didn't see nothing, but I think she's going to start beating him on the head in a minute. Just when he thought this guy's story couldn't get any worse or sadder, right?
gate and go get back into your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Atkins, did you leave that gas station at that point?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
2 reasons. One, I was terrified. 2, I had absconded from my probation, my misdemeanor probation. I didn't really want to deal with the police.
Yeah. Sounds like it was really just reason 2 that was an issue for him. You know, because if you're scared, then you know, it's like in Jurassic Park, right? Even the T-Rex can't see. So my point is that you should stay at the gas station. Stay at the gate gas station. Go inside. There's cameras. The police are definitely on their way, right?
All right. Tell the jurors what happened that made you return to that gate gas station.
Hello,
She slapped me. It made me go back.
Who slapped you?
Lauren did.
Had you told her what you had seen,
Yes, ma'am. When we got on the south side,
and she made you go back up there?
she forced me to go back.
Did you want to go back up there, Mr. Atkins?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Did you know that by going back up there would be police officers there?
I was sure of it.
Oh man, I hope this isn't the point where he gets arrested. Like, and receives 7 years for doing the right thing. Fuck, no. I hope that just happened to be some later crime that he got. I mean, that would be terrible. Then they should just say, okay, look, we're going to give you a very, very big warning, okay? But you're free to go. That's what he should get.
All right. And then, did you pull back into the parking lot?
Not immediately.
Tell the jurors why you couldn't pull back in at that time.
Police had it taped off so I couldn't go by. There was, according to the officer, a murder investigation. Or, well, at that time it was a shooting. That's what he called it.
All right. How long do you think you were gone from the time you got back into the car and pulled out with Miss Alderman to the time you returned to the gate gas station?
5 minutes, give or take.
And in that time, sir, did you tell anyone else besides Miss Alderman about what happened?
No.
Did you see any other police officers at the destination where you drove? Did you go back to the Winn-Dixie?
No, I didn't make it there.
Okay. You turned around and went back.
I turned right on the south, or left on the south side, and made a U-turn on Bay Meadows into the gate.
Okay. And did you then tell the police what you had witnessed?
No, I told them that I saw everything go down, but I didn't tell them the details of what I saw.
Right, but did they ask you to remain at the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you remain at the scene,
Yes, ma'am, I did.
knowing that they could determine that you were on probation at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Veggie Girl, welcome back, and Chauncey Myers, hello.
Okay. And did Miss Alderman wait there with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you eventually go down to the police memorial building in downtown Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you speak to the police and convey to them what you've conveyed here to this jury?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you ever shown that brown piece of paper again?
No, that's the first time I've seen it since that night.
And sir, did there come a time at your deposition when you talked to Mr. Guy about hopefully helping you out of this trouble you were in?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you do that?
Got 7 years. That's a long time, and I'm young. It's,
Okay.
you're only young once.
To your knowledge,
Yeah, I had big plans for the summer. You know, we were going to go down to scuba dive in the Keys, and then we were going to go to this really nice place for seafood, but I'll be in jail for 7 years, and that's all of my 20s.
your charges were pending in Clay County, even though it's our office. Do you know whether anyone, or did you or your lawyer?
More pending charges. For fuck's sake, man. He really helped the case, you know? So they should go a bit easy on him. Plus, he's clearly having a really bad time in jail.
Ever directly contact us about your situation?
Overruled.
Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, obviously. And like the video also, because those thumbs are really nice. Yeah, click that thumb and share, leave a comment, and support the channel on PayPal. PayPal? Where's the link to PayPal? Oh, there it is. Look at it right there. PayPal.me.truecrimemetrics. Awesome. And coffee. Jewish coffees today because it's Hanukkah, apparently.
No, ma'am. We never.
Was there ever a part of your plea bargain on the record in Clay County that mentioned that you were a witness in this case?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever try to make contact with me or Miss Wolfson, or Mr. Guy prior to the time you were brought back for a deposition?
No, ma'am.
And as you testify here today in front of the jury, are you expecting any special benefit from your testimony?
No, ma'am.
Tell these jurors why you went back to the gate gas station.
Sustained.
That's an unfortunate thing within the system, isn't it? The legal system is that if a witness is in jail and has really good information and is going to take that risk, but it is a big risk. Yeah. Cooperating with the attorney's office, giving testimony in a murder trial against someone, that's snitching, right? So if you do it here, what's to say you're not going to do it to somebody on the inside because you're a snitch, right? So they can't, even if they want to do the deal, they can't say they're doing a deal. Because if they say they're doing a deal, then the attorney for the defense is going to go, well, obviously he would say anything. To get a deal like that, he'd say anything. We need to invent a way for a benefit to be confirmed without it undermining the veracity, the validity of the veracity for their statement, right? How would we do that? Maybe they could be like an escrow, but for truth. Instead of buying a house, it's for truth.
Tell them why you're testifying here in court today.
To do the right thing.
You have just a moment with co-counsel?
Yes.
To do the right thing and really, hopefully, get a deal. Can I get a deal? How about time served? And you let me go today.
Ma'am.
That's all I have, Mr. Atkins.
Mr. Stroller, Cross?
Oh, Mr. Stroller,
Yes, sir.
I don't think anybody in our community has warmed even one little bit to Mr. Stroller. He's a dick.
Mr. Atkins, just to stay on topic from that, at the time you got sentenced, did you know what your sentence would be?
Yes.
Okay. And when I took your deposition, Mr. Guy was there, I was there, correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to you entering even in the room is when you approached Mr. Guy privately and asked for those benefits and favors, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you asked him for two based on your testimony in this case, isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
One was you wanted to stay in Jacksonville as long as possible, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't want to go back to prison, did you?
No, sir.
The other one is you asked if you could get some of your sentencing reduction for you being a witness in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Isn't it true that after your depot was over that day, you got to stay in Jacksonville for over a month before you were sent back to DOC?
I stayed for a month and a day, and then I was sent back to the OC.
Okay, so the answer to my question was yes. you
Yes, sir.
stayed for over a month, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you did receive a benefit that you asked for, is that fair?
I guess you can say that.
It just wasn't long enough for your liking?
It was fine enough for me, sir.
Now,
What was enough?
you indicate that you heard two shots and then the red SUV backed out, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you
Hello, Shani. Anyone know how long the young guy has been in prison already? Well, this is 2013, and he was out in, he was a witness at the scene in November 2012, and this trial is taking place in 2013 at some point. I don't know the date, but not in the first half, I should think. Definitely not in the first half. So about a year. So we don't know when he went away, but he's not been in for more than a year for sure.
You said you believed it backed out straight, but you're foggy on that. That was your testimony, correct?
Yes, sir.
You also admit that you were homeless at the time when these crimes occurred that you're now in custody for. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you this. On the evening that this happened, did you have any type of drugs or alcohol or synthetic marijuana in your system that night?
No, sir.
And you're saying you couldn't hear music or you just ignored it?
I couldn't hear it.
That was an obvious tactic. That's page 1 of the cross-examination manual that they give you in law school is when you want to create doubt over a witness's statement like that. Did you have any drugs or alcohol? Any synthetic marijuana in your system? Anything? No, sir. And then a big pause. Big, huge, long pause. Because he wants the jury to go, he said no, but what he probably really means is yes. Let's see that again. Big, long pause. Page 1 of the law manual.
You also admit that you were homeless at the time when these crimes occurred that you're now in custody for. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you this. On the evening that this happened, did you have any type of drugs or alcohol or synthetic marijuana in your system that night?
No, sir.
And you're saying you couldn't hear music or you just ignored it?
I couldn't hear it. It's a possibility that I just ignored it because, like I said, I lived in the city a few years. You start to drown out those things.
Okay. But if something was playing music loud enough to make mirrors or vibrate and shake, have you been around cars that are on the street that do that?
Yeah, that was not happening.
Okay. And there's a difference. Would you agree there's a difference between loud music and then maybe
Ridiculous.
something- I'm sorry?
Ridiculous music.
Ridiculously loud?
Yeah, that was not happening.
Okay. And you've even been around it where it's so loud it may even hurt your ears. Think that's fair?
Yes, sir.
And if it was that loud that night, you'd be able to hear that ridiculously loud music?
Oh, yes.
Now, prior to any gunshots, were you looking over at the red SUV?
For a second, when the driver came out of the gate and hopped into the red SUV,
Okay, and you're talking about the gentleman with the dreadlocks, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And how long was he in that red SUV before that first shot was fired?
Less than a minute, probably.
And again, you can't testify to what words were exchanged, right?
No, sir.
You can't testify to what actions happened on the other side of that Durango, correct?
No, sir.
And matter of fact, isn't it true you told the police that night that it actually looked like Mr. Dunn, who you now know as Mr. Dunn, was shooting in the ground as the SUV was leaving? Is that true?
I thought it was, but I really have no experience with a firearm.
Okay. And based on that lack of experience, I'm assuming, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, correct me if I'm wrong, that would have freaked you out being in that situation.
Oh, I was terrified.
And you were so terrified, you didn't even realize that your longtime serious girlfriend walked right by you inside the gas station, correct?
Not at all. Never saw her.
And afterwards, talking to her, when you came back, you realized she's in the car. She must have walked right by you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like you walked around the store, went into the bathroom, anything like that.
Well, when I got in there and I gave the lady at the desk the license plate number, I went into the, not gonna lie, I knocked it on the girl's bathroom. I was terrified. I don't want to get Lauren out of there, and she wasn't in there.
Okay. So at that point, though, it's safe to assume you're at the front desk right by the front door, and Lauren walked right by you.
Yeah, she went right by.
Now, were you there when the SUV pulled back?
I was still inside the store when it pulled back.
Okay. So as you're leaving, the SUV was already back, correct?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that that SUV was in a different spot entirely from where it was when the shooting took place?
I can't recollect.
Okay. Is it possible that SUV was closer to your car when it came back than at the time of the shooting?
It's possible.
Okay. But you don't have a clear recollection. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Now, that night you were taken to the homicide office, true?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you actually saw 3 of the guys from that SUV, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
You were there when they actually took those 3 gentlemen and put them in different rooms, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was the same room eventually they put you into, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that purpose of you going into that room is so that Ms. Wolfson could take your sworn statement. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
She administered you an oath just like the clerk did today, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were told that this was going to be videotaped and they were going to take your statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was after The other three gentlemen from the SUV had already given their statements and left, is that correct?
I believe so. No, because when we got back to the desk and sat down, they left. They sat in another room until probably about 30 minutes before me and Lauren left.
Okay, so even when you were in the room and videotaped and recorded and sworn, when you came out, those guys were still there for a little bit?
Yes, sir.
And Miss Wolfson was present?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize her today as the lady asking you questions that day on video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was she also there talking to the other three gentlemen that were in the SUV?
I believe so.
Okay, and the homicide detectives were obviously there because you're at the homicide office, correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall how long you were there?
From about 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning.
So you were there for about 6 hours.
Yeah, for a good minute.
Well, that's being a little facetious, correct?
Just a tiny bit.
Okay. Now, you indicated in that videotape statement that Mr. Dunn was actually leaning out of the car, correct?
He was crouched, but
Do you recall if you would have said leaning that night that they took your video?
I may have. I don't remember.
Okay. But sitting here today, it's a possibility you just don't recall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know how long that red SUV was gone once it left after those couple of shots were fired?
2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes. Not very long at all.
Okay. And isn't it true the homicide detectives never asked you about that red SUV leaving the scene?
Oh, I don't remember that, sir.
Is it possible that they only asked you about Mr. Dunn shooting and never asked you about the red SUV leaving? Is that possible?
It's possible.
And that's just because you can't recall today.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with Miss Wolfson. Is it possible that she never even asked you about that red SUV leaving or any type of time frames?
It's possible.
Have they showed you that video to refresh your recollection prior to today?
No, sir.
Have they showed you any reports or any statements you gave to the police before coming here today?
When me and you did our deposition, I saw my statement I filled out, but I didn't see no police report.
Right, and they didn't show you the video.
No, sir.
And even as of today, when they brought you over from your correctional facility to testify, they've still never refreshed your recollection with either the video of your reports, correct?
Correct.
Judge, if I may just have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Atkins, you said when you returned to the parking lot, they wouldn't let you in. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're talking about the gate parking lot. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
So are you familiar with that area? I know you were staying across the street over by the Winn-Dixie, but are you familiar with that plaza? I think Ms. Corey put a picture up that you were drawing on.
I'm very familiar with that area.
Okay. That plaza and parking lot was actually open where people could drive into that plaza, correct?
No, not from where I was going. The police stopped me as soon as I got to the turn off the driveway.
Right, as you came up the driveway, you just couldn't pull into the gate parking lot.
No, I couldn't even pull into the parking lot.
All right, how did you get into the parking lot? You said you drove around and pulled in?
I did a UE on South Side, came to the first right driveway, and the officer, he waved me down. He said, "You can't go." And I told him that I saw what happened. And then he asked me to pull up a little bit further onto the grass and sit there for a few minutes.
And that was right outside the gate gas station, correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's actually extra entrances into that plaza north, further north, correct?
Yes, sir.
You never even had to go down there, did you?
No.
So again, you have no idea if those were open and letting people into the plaza. Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement.
Judge, I have nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Corey? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Atkins, did Ms. Wilson ever tell you what your testimony should be?
No, ma'am.
Did any member of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office ever tell you what your testimony should be?
No, ma'am.
Did you discuss anything about the actual facts of the case with anyone else at the gate gas station while you were there?
No.
And when you were at the police memorial building, did you get together with any of the young men in the red Dodge Durango and talk about what any of you should say?
I didn't talk to a soul. I was withdrawn.
It's red Dodge Durango, very tacky. I keep whenever the car comes up in the court, I'm almost surprised now that they don't say very tacky after it. Now, I think what we're doing with our repetition on that is helping the communal consciousness, because I bet some of you have been out there in the world since we started our Michael Dunn coverage and actually seen a red Dodge Durango very tacky, and somewhere in your mind it clicks, and you'll tell others, and eventually they'll tell others, and one day we'll get to the point where nobody is left that would actually pay for a red Dodge Durango very tacky. That's what we're doing, grassroots.
Scared.
Has anyone from my office told you what to testify to during court today?
No, ma'am.
And sir, isn't it true that let me ask you a question. Do you recall the day of your deposition?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall talking to Mr. Guy about, was there anything that could be done about the length of your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Was there anything that can be done? Can we do something? Can you do something? Can you help me? Can you get me out of here, please? I want to go home.
Recall being placed under oath in the deposition to talk to Mr. Strolla?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you hear Mr. Guy tell Mr. Strolla every word of conversation that the two of you had about your request for leniency
Yes, very clearly.
in detail?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Strolla asked you whether or not you had been granted leniency by remaining in Duval County. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your understanding of what happens to your gain time in prison when you come back to Duval County?
Your Honor, I'm only going to object to speculation in terms of relevance as well, Your Honor. I don't think if I may, Your Honor, approach.
All right. Would the court reporter, please? All right, the objection's overruled. Go ahead, Ms. Corey.
Mrs. Simpkins, do you mind reading back my specific question for Mr. Adams?
What is your understanding of what happens to your gain time in prison when you come back to Duval County?
You don't get none. You lose it.
You lose that benefit in prison from staying here. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it's true.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
May he be excused?
He may.
Mr. Stroll?
What was the benefit? So I've heard about this. I've heard about this when I say that Luis Rivera, might like coming to court every year or every couple of years to testify. Might break up that, every couple of years he gets to get out of that prison in Arizona and take a long old bus ride where he gets Wendy's. Every stop, Wendy's. And then come into court and, see people, see Kappelman. That'd break up my sentence. Oh. But then people come to me and they say, oh no, Metrix, because he doesn't get to bring any of his stuff, any toiletries that he might have acquired or books. No, he doesn't read, does he? Well, okay, well, picture books. Something simple about an elephant who loses his balloon, but then goes around and asks all the animals, have you seen my balloon? The elephant has lost his balloon. And eventually finds the balloon again. Yeah. That sort of thing, a good children's book told in picture form.
Reporter, please.
He doesn't get to bring it.
All right, the objection's overruled. Go ahead, Ms. Corey.
Mrs. Simpkins, do you mind reading back my specific question for Mr. Adams?
That's the point, Christina. Lewis does like Georgia. She's as authentic as he is. I want to see their first date. I've no doubt that Georgia Kappelman would be as happy as I would be to invite Luis Rivera to a big Christmas Day celebration at my home with my family. You know, with Georgia's family. Yeah, he'd be happy to do that. We'd be happy to have him because he's truth.
What is your understanding of what happens to your game time in prison when you come back to Duval County?
You don't get none. You lose it.
You lose that benefit in prison.
What?
Do you mind reading back my specific question?
I need to hear this.
All right, the objection's overruled. Go ahead, Ms. Corey.
Mrs. Simpkins, do you mind reading back my specific question for Mr. Atkins?
What is your understanding of what happens to your game time in prison when you come back to Duval County?
You don't get none. You lose it.
I still didn't get it. What is your understanding of what happens to your something in prison when you come back to Duval County? You lose it. You don't.
Prison from staying here, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it's true.
Thank you. No further questions.
I don't know what that was.
He may.
Mr. Stroller?
Yes,
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused.
Is the we in that sentence you and Georgia? I call leakage Metrix. We. What was the we? I don't know what it was. So there are other witnesses that were at the scene. Let's find one of those. But please do head over to buymeajewishcoffee.com /True Crime Metrix. Also PayPal. Fantastic way to support the channel. I can't see the damn thing. Or should we do another letter? We could go to the letters. Oh. Or why don't we have a look at Rhonda from the retrial? We saw Rhonda the other day, and this is after she's called off the divorce. So,
If you'll raise your right hand, the clerk will administer the oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
All right, ma'am. Right around this way and have a seat.
you said, and we would be glad to have him, Luis, for Christmas dinner. God, I'm liking that dream, Christina. We, yeah. Me and Miss Kappelman, who I would forever call Miss Kappelman, you know, if she were my wife. That'd be great. But, you know, even better than being married to Georgia Kappelman, Miss Kappelman, would be for us both to invite Luis Rivera to our home for Christmas dinner, the whole day, and for him to accept. That'd be great. When I go to sleep after this show, I'm going to think about that real hard, and hopefully that'll make my dream that. Does that happen? Is that possible? I'm sure that's doable. I'm sure that's been done.
Seat for me. And if you'll scoot up towards that microphone and adjust it as you need and speak directly into it and loudly so everybody can hear you, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Wilson.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name for the record?
Rondalyn Rower,
And Ms. Rower, could you actually spell your last name for the court reporter?
Rouer,
Ms. Rower, where do you currently live in Florida?
Brevard County,
And how long have you lived there for?
7-8 years.
Are you currently working?
Yes, I am.
And what type of work do you do?
I work at a healthcare facility.
Ms. Rower, do you know someone by the name of Michael Dunn?
Yes, I do.
And do you see him here in court today?
Yes, I do.
And could you please, for the record, describe where he is sitting and something he is wearing?
He's sitting over there, and he's got a jacket on.
And Ms. Rauer, is he at the first or second table?
First table.
Your Honor, may the record...
Let the record reflect she's identified the defendant.
Ms. Rauer, how long have you known the defendant for?
I guess about 5 years.
Now, when you first met the defendant, did you start dating soon after that?
Yes, we did.
And did you eventually become engaged to the defendant?
Yes, we did.
Now, back in November of 2012, were you engaged at that point?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn? During your relationship with him, did you all ever live together?
Yes.
And where did you all live together?
In Satellite Beach.
And was that at 257 Ocean Residence Court?
Yes.
Suddenly someone's in the Christmas spirit. Who, me? I don't know. I'm in the Kappelman spirit all year round, you know. And basically I'd give up any of my beliefs. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. Show me the paper. Show me the deal. Show me the deal. Yeah. No, we can do Christmas. If I'm married to Georgia Kappelman, I'll even do Easter. You know, no problem. Every year. Fucking baskets of eggs and a bunny, big old chocolate bunny. Yeah, I'd do all that. And what else? What else would I need to do? I'm just trying to get my head right. I don't want to run into a problem in the dream, so I want to get everything out of the subconscious right now. Yeah, so Christmas, she'd definitely want me to do that. She'd probably want me to do something at Easter as well, and Mother's Day. But what else? It's pretty much it, right? Halloween, I'd have to get a pumpkin and carve a face into it and all that. Yeah, no, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy, more than happy. Every day would just be happy, especially the day that we have Luis Rivera around for Christmas Day.
Ms. Rauer, I'd like to turn your attention to November 22nd of 2012. That was Thanksgiving Day?
Yes,
And do you remember that Thanksgiving?
I do.
Now, where were you living back on November 22nd of 2012?
In Satellite Beach.
Okay. And that was with the defendant?
That's correct.
Did you all spend Thanksgiving night in Satellite Beach?
No.
Could you tell the jury where you all spent Thanksgiving night?
Jackson.
They're all grown, Christina, pretty much, or just about to be. They'll be out of the house. They'll be out of the house, thank God. Thank God.
And why were you and the defendant up in Jacksonville that night?
His son was getting married the next day.
So his son was getting married that Friday?
That's correct.
And that would have been November 23rd?
That's correct.
Now, since the wedding was...
Where do you think they went for because they were actually traveling on Thanksgiving, right? So no big, oh, that's another one, because she's an American. I'd have to do Thanksgiving, and I've never done that at all. But yeah, I'd be fine with that. In fact, that's the one, of all of those observed dates, that one does seem kind of a good thing, good thing.
On Friday, why did you and the defendant actually come into town Thursday night?
We took into consideration that you usually can't check in to the hotel until about 3 or 4, and his son's wedding started at 4, and we were bringing our puppy Charlie, and so we wanted to make sure he was situated.
Now, have you ever met the defendant's son before?
No.
And what was the defendant's son's name who was getting married?
His name is Christopher.
Ms. Brower, what hotel were you all staying at that Thursday night?
The Sheridan.
And did you have plans to also stay there then Friday night?
Yes.
Have you been to Jacksonville before?
Yes.
And when have you been to Jacksonville?
We came up once to visit his daughter when she lived here, and then once when she graduated college.
So both of the previous times you'd been in Jacksonville, it had been with the defendant?
That's correct.
Now, to your knowledge, has the defendant ever lived in Jacksonville?
Yes, he has.
And do you know when it was that he lived in Jacksonville?
No,
And do you know how long ago he lived in Jacksonville?
no.
Now, to the best of your recollection, what time did you and the defendant wake up that Friday morning?
I think it was around 8 or so.
And what did you all do that Friday morning?
Boom! We got a coffee notification. Thank you so much, Toyo Open Country HTS. We gotta do a review of those tires. How small do you think they make them? Do you think I could put them on a Peugeot 206? Does anybody want to see my car? Where's my car? Where's a picture of my car? Yeah. No, I do need two tires on the front. They're looking pretty slick. The back ones are okay. What will we just about to... Oh yeah, we need to check what great message came from our very good friend and colleague. And that message was, can I buy some agnostic coffees? Sure. Or atheistic. What would an agnostic coffee be? Let's think about that. A philosophical coffee. The most philosophical coffee. There's got to be a way to spin this. An agnostic coffee would be maybe like a latte, because it's like half milk, right? It's not too heavy. It doesn't lean one way or the other. It's the most neutral agnostic coffee that there could be. With a blend of spices, from your cinnamon to your nutmeg and chocolate shavings, but light and dark, milk and dark. I don't know. It's just something that's a blend. With options, good options, spiritual options.
For the wedding.
We went to breakfast,
Do you remember where you went to breakfast?
Mimi's Cafe.
And do you remember where Mimi's Cafe was?
It's, I think it's in a mall area.
Was it like an outdoor mall area?
Yes.
Now, after breakfast, what did you and the defendant do?
We went back to the hotel,
What time was Christopher Dunn's wedding that Friday?
4 o'clock.
And approximately what time did you and the defendant start getting ready for the wedding?
About 2:30.
Now, while you were getting ready, did you yourself have any sort of alcoholic beverages to drink?
Yes, I had a glass of wine.
To your knowledge, did the defendant have any sort of alcoholic drinks while he was getting ready?
No, he did not.
Approximately what time did you all leave for the wedding that afternoon?
Between 3 and 3:30.
And could you tell the jury where the wedding was that you all were going to, just generally speaking?
In Orange Park.
And how did you all get to the wedding?
Michael drove.
And what kind of car was he driving?
Black Jetta.
And was that his car or your car?
That's his car.
And for the record, Ms. Rauer, I'm showing you on the screen next to you what's been previously entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 125. And is that the defendant, Michael Dunn's car that he was driving that night?
Yes.
Now, when you got to the wedding, approximately how many people were there?
I think it was probably around 50.
Okay, and had you met any of his extended, by his I mean the defendant's extended family before?
No, I had not.
Were you a little bit nervous going to that wedding?
Yes, I was.
Was there a reception after the ceremony?
Yes.
And where was the reception?
At the same place as the wedding.
And was it immediately following the wedding?
Yes.
Did you and the defendant attend the reception?
Yes, we did.
Was alcohol being served at the reception?
Yes.
Did you yourself have anything to drink while at the reception?
Yes, I did.
And could you tell the jury what you had to drink while there?
I had a glass of red wine and 2 or 3 rum and cokes.
Now, who made those rum and cokes for you? Was it a self-serve bar or a bartender?
No, the bartender.
Okay. And what size glasses were your rum and coke served in?
They're like about that size.
Okay. Now, while at the reception, do you know whether or not this defendant had anything to drink?
Yes, he did.
And what was the defendant drinking that night?
Rum and coke.
And do you know how many drinks he had to drink?
He had about 3 or 4.
Ms. Rauer, were there any toasts at the wedding?
Yes, there was a champagne toast.
And did you have a glass of champagne for that champagne toast?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the defendant with a glass of champagne for the champagne toast?
He had the glass in his hand, yes.
Do you know whether or not he drank any?
He may have taken a sip for the toast, but he doesn't drink champagne, so.
Ms. Rauer, how long were
Yeah, I'm not big on champagne. I mean, you know, what is the deal with that? Because it's fizzy and it pops. That's the whole draw, right? Because taste-wise, I mean, I think the bubbles, they change the high a bit, don't they? Champagne is it's definitely a little bit of a speedier, more speedy kind of drunk, right? It's more of a buzz. But as far as like actually, I mean, you'd never buy a bottle like for yourself, would you? I mean, maybe. I'm talking about champagne now, not cava or prosecco, because those are different, or even sparkling white wine. I'm talking about champagne, and that's different. Has anyone ever bought a bottle of champagne for themselves and just opened it at home and then kept it in the fridge? Or drank the whole thing, who knows? I never have, and I never would. Because taste-wise, it's just a sense of occasion thing, isn't it?
Were you two at the wedding reception that Friday night?
Just a couple hours. We left around 7.
Now, was the reception over when you all left?
No,
Why did you and the defendant leave the reception early?
to get back to the hotel to Charlie.
And that's the puppy you all had with you?
Yeah,
Where have you left your dog?
back at the hotel.
And was he in a crate?
Yeah,
When you left the wedding, did the defendant drive you back in the Jetta back to the hotel?
yes, he did.
Were you at all concerned with how much he had to drink when you got in the car with him?
No, not at all.
Once you left the wedding, where did you all go?
To the gas station.
Ms. Rauer, did the defendant need directions to get to the gate gas station?
No,
Do you remember him using a GPS or anything like that?
no.
To your knowledge, had the defendant been there before?
Yes,
Ms. Rauer, if you can look on your computer screen next to you. Do you recognize State Exhibit 2?
I do.
And is that then an overhead photograph of the gate gas station?
Yes,
And that's the gate gas station that you all went to that night?
yes.
Now, in looking at State's Exhibit 2, Ms. Rauer, can you show the jury, and you can touch the screen with your finger and show them which entrance you all took getting into the gas station?
That one?
Now, once he pulled into the gas station, did he pull into a parking spot right away?
Yes, he did.
And was that a spot that was directly in front of the gas station front doors?
Yes, it was.
What was the reason, Ms. Rauer, for stopping at the gas station?
To get a bottle of wine.
And whose idea was it to stop at that gas station?
Mine.
Ms. Rauer, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 5. And do you recognize State's Exhibit 5 as a photograph of the front of the gas station?
Yes.
And can you show on the screen where the defendant parked his car that night?
Right there.
And for the record, is that the first spot to the left of the front doors?
Yes.
When the defendant parked his car in that spot, do you remember whether or not there was a vehicle directly on the defendant's left?
Yes, there was.
And what can you tell the jury about the color and make of that car?
I could tell that it was a red vehicle.
Ms. Rauer, how close was the defendant's car to the red car when he pulled in? Do you remember?
It was very close.
Would the defendant have been able to get out of his car?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Interesting.
Would the potato have been able to get out of his car? You know, it's like the game Operation. Remember the game Operation where you get the tweezers and you have to take out the thing without making it buzz? You could do another version of that, but you have to get Michael Dunn out of his car without touching the sides. With tweezers. Imagine the tiny little miniature version of the scene, right? You see, are you telling me that that wouldn't sell? That there's not a market for those kind of one-off collectible pieces sold as works of art? There's enough people that follow this case. I know that we don't have any viewers, but that's because everyone hates my bad language. And we also occasionally broadcast things. What were we saying before? We were saying there is definitely a market for one-off collectibles, numbered editions, 1 to 100. 100 pieces to sell of the faux game based on Operation, where you get the tweezers and you have to... Let's bring up a picture of the Operation game. Okay. So it was basically like this. Looking for a good one. I'm looking for the one that I had. Here we go. Well, I didn't have it, but a friend of mine did. So that's saved as right here. This is it. So this is the game Operation. And children would play, and they'd get these little tweezers, and they'd try and get the organs out of this guy that's being operated on without touching the sides. But I'm saying remake the scene, black, little model of a black Volkswagen Jetta, little model of a red Dodge Durango, very tacky, and you have to get Michael Dunn out of the car. Something like that. They'd sell. They'd probably sell for $5,000 each to collectors.
Ms. Rauer, do the doors on the defendant's car, do they open wide?
Objection, Your Honor, meeting.
Overruled.
And you can answer the question, Ms. Rauer.
They do open wide.
Now, when you pulled in the gas station, was your window up or down?
Up.
And what about the driver's side window?
Up.
When the defendant pulled into the parking space, could you hear any music coming from the red vehicle?
Yes,
And that was from the vehicle to your left?
that's correct.
How loud was the music that you heard coming from that red vehicle?
It was very loud.
Could you understand any of the lyrics that were coming from the music that was playing?
No, I could not.
Could you make out, though, what type of music it was?
Yes, I could.
And what type of music was being played?
Rap music?
Could you hear the bass from inside of your car?
Yes.
And from inside your car, do you ever remember the interior of your car vibrating or shaking from that bass?
No.
When the defendant parked the car, did he say anything about the music when he parked next to the red car?
Yes.
And what did the defendant say?
I hate that thug music.
And what was your response back to the defendant?
Yes, I know.
Now, once he parked his car, what did you do?
I gave him a kiss. I took $20 and went to the store.
Now, prior to pulling into the parking lot, Mr. Brower, had it been discussed which one of you would be going into the gas station?
No.
And when you got out of the car that night, was your window still up?
Yes.
And was the driver's side window still up?
Yes.
Did you close the passenger side door behind you?
Yes, I did.
When you got out of the car and headed towards the gas station, did you at all pay attention to the red vehicle next to you?
No.
Did you have any reason to pay attention to it?
No.
As you were walking up to the store, though, could you still hear the music playing?
Yes.
And at that point in time, could you hear the actual lyrics of the song?
No. I mean, I could hear them, I couldn't make them out.
Okay. Now, when you were walking into the store, did you notice or hear any sort of arguing going on behind you?
No.
Once you got into the store, where did you go?
Into the aisle that has the line.
Mr. Brower, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 41. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 41?
I do.
And what do you recognize those items to be?
The items that I picked up.
Once you picked up the bottle of wine and the bag of chips, where did you go?
To the counter.
The cash register? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. Now, while you were in the store, and specifically at the cash register, could you hear the music coming from that red vehicle?
No, I could not.
Could you at that point hear any sort of argument
No, I did
from
not.
outside?
No.
And as you were at the register, did you hear anything unusual?
Yes, I did.
Could you tell the jury what you heard?
I heard a pop, pop, pop.
And was that 3 pops at
Pop,
first?
pop,
Yeah.
pop.
When you
You know, how do I feel about this woman? Well, you know, I have sympathy, some. Yeah, I can do that. I can recognize that there's a traumatic event, but also, pull yourself together. You're a grown woman. We get it. It's horrific and, you know, shocking and everything like that. But you are a grown woman. I mean, you're almost 50, right? You've had 2 children that have grown and are out the house. You're a professional working in a healthcare facility, and you can handle it. So fucking let's you know, let's pull it together, okay? It's a bit much, isn't it? I mean, I've literally seen 8-year-olds be more pulled together in the face of trauma, okay? What the fuck? Pop, pop. I heard pop, pop, pop. What the fuck? I heard 3 gunshots. You know, own it. What the fuck? I heard pop, pop, pop. Too much. Pull it together. Okay, let's go back a second and just see that again.
once you picked up the bottle of wine,
That's the chips and wine. What do we got here? Cape Cod kettle chips. They look like, yeah, kettle Crispies. What is that? What does that say? It says kettle cooked. Oh, so they actually cook them in the kettle. I thought that was just the name. I thought that's just what you call them. Okay, what about the wine? Does anybody recognize that wine? Is that a certain kind of brand? I mean, they've got that distinctive V. So I'm guessing that means it's an Italian wine. Because as you all know, Italian wines are often spelt with the letter V.
in the bag of chips, where did you go?
To the counter.
The cash register? Is that
Yeah.
what? Okay. Now, while you were in the store, and specifically at the cash register, could you hear the music coming from that red vehicle?
No, I could not.
Could you at that point hear any sort of argument
No, I did
from
not.
outside?
No.
And as you were at the register, did you hear anything unusual?
Yes, I did.
Could you tell the jury what you heard?
I heard a pop, pop, pop.
And was that 3 pops at first?
Yeah.
When you heard those pops, did you know exactly where they were coming from?
No, I did not.
And to the best of your memory, where were you standing when you first heard those gunshots?
Well, the counter kind of goes like this, and then the register is here. So I was walking up the aisle this way when I first heard the pops.
And when you say the register goes like this, are you meaning it's kind of like a
An L
curve shape?
An L shape
Okay.
kind of thing, yeah.
When you heard those pops, were you at all paying attention to what was going on outside?
No.
Was your back actually to the outside of the store?
Yes.
And were you facing away from the windows in the door?
Yes.
What did you say when you first heard those gunshots?
I asked, what was that?
And was that then to the cashier you were in front of?
Correct.
And what did you hear next?
I heard another pop, pop, pop.
And what do you remember doing after hearing the second round of shots?
I turned around.
When you turned around, what did you see?
I saw Michael facing out of his car.
And could you explain to the jury which direction he was facing when you looked out?
Well, if this is the driver's seat, he was faced out this way.
And could you tell if the door was open or closed?
The door was open.
Blue River, welcome back. So I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds strikingly similar to the Portuguese Christmas cake, which is this. Which, personally, I've never tried. They're selling them all in the supermarkets now. And, yeah. I don't know. I don't want one. I'd rather have a cigarette.
When you looked out, could you see the red vehicle that had been on the other side of his car?
No.
And when you looked out, were you able to see where the defendant's hands were?
No.
Could you explain to the best of your ability the position that you saw the defendant in when you looked out the window?
It just looked like he was still seated in his seat, but he was facing out, like I could see his profile.
Ms. Rauer, when you turned around and looked out, were you at all able to see a gun at that point in time?
No.
The email, Christina, is truecrimemetrics@gmail.com. Yeah, that's the email. I got the idea because the channel's name is True Crime Metrics, right? Yeah, so email to Hello Shani or anybody else that wants to send us something special. Email is truecrimemetrics@gmail.com. Yeah, and we're a little backed up on those. I got to catch up on the correspondence tomorrow. But if you've sent us an email recently, you will be getting a reply. Any moment now. Tomorrow, probably, or the next day. Or at some time before the new year, but definitely not after February.
And what did you do after turning around and seeing the defendant in that position?
I started walking towards the door.
What did you do with the wine and chips that you had?
I left them on the counter.
Did you leave your change on the counter as well?
Yeah.
When you got to the front door of the gas station, did you open the front door?
Yes, I did.
And did you immediately walk out?
No.
It's so funny that you know, that they didn't even get what they went there to get, right? Hey, let's stop and get some chips and wine. Wait a second, I just need to shoot a child. And then let's drive away. But without the stuff that we came here for. So basically, it was pointless that Rhonda even got out of the car. What they should have done is, to achieve the same ends, would be to just drive from your son's wedding back to the hotel, but stop at the gate gas station, get out your car, shoot a child, and then continue on to the hotel, right? I mean, that's basically what happened. And she lost $20 because she left the change on the counter. So they paid $20 to kill a kid. Great.
What happened when you were at the front door?
Michael said, get in the car.
And did you listen to him?
No.
What happened next?
He said more urgently, get in the car.
And at that point,
I got in the car.
and was that in the front passenger seat?
Yes.
Ms. Rauer, as you got in the passenger seat of the car, did you see a firearm at that point in time?
Yes.
Ms. Rauer, if you look on the screen, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 113. Is that the firearm you saw when you got back into the car?
Yes.
And what was the defendant doing with the gun when you got back into the car?
He was putting it in the glove box.
Do you remember, Ms. Rauer?
What, you mean he didn't just drive off and firing it out of the window as he drove away? Yeah, I saw this in an old Western. So, only he was on horseback, but definitely when he left the, well, it wasn't a gas station, it was a saloon or a barber shop. When he left the barber shop, he fired wildly into the air as he fled. So I thought I'd better do the same. In my head, that's how it goes down.
Rauer, when he was putting the gun back in the glove box, whether or not the gun was in a holster?
No,
You don't remember?
I do not.
What did the defendant do after you got into the passenger seat of the car?
He started to back up
And can you describe for the jury in the manner in which he pulled out of the gas station that night?
very quickly.
Did he wait for you to put your seatbelt on?
No.
Ms. Rauer, I'm showing you again State's Exhibit 2 on the screen. Which way, when the defendant pulled out of that parking space, did he head?
He went this way?
And did he then turn out onto Southside Boulevard?
Yes, he did.
What was the defendant's demeanor like when you were in the car?
He was anxious.
Did you notice any injuries to him?
No, I did not.
Did you own a cell phone at that point in time?
Yes, I did.
Did you have it on you?
Yes, I did.
And do you know whether or not the defendant owned a cell phone at that point in time?
Yes, he did.
And do you know whether or not he had his cell phone on him?
Yes, he did.
Now, Ms. Rauer, prior to actually pulling into this gas station, had you seen police lights at that night?
Yes.
And for the record, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 3. And can you point out in the general direction and location where it was that you saw those police lights?
The gas station's here, right?
Yes, ma'am, is that
Yeah.
just the gate gas station?
And it was like right around here.
Where you put the red mark?
That's correct.
Okay, and for the record, that's on the west side of the intersection of Southside and Bay Meadows? Now, when you were leaving the gas station, could you still see those police lights, Ms. Rauer?
Yes.
And were they in the same location where they had been the first time you saw them?
Yes.
How long, when you left the gas station, did the defendant drive straight back to the hotel?
Yes.
On the way back to the hotel, did you see any additional police lights?
Yes.
And where were those police lights that you saw?
They were headed in the opposite direction that we were going.
Ms. Rauer, how long did it take you to get back to the hotel?
Not long.
Was the defendant looking in his rearview mirror?
Yes.
And his side mirrors?
Yes.
When you got back to the Sheridan, where did the defendant park his car?
Up front.
Did he park the car normally or did he back it in?
No, he parked normally.
And once the defendant parked the car, what did you and the defendant do?
We both got out of the car.
Did you get out first?
Yes, I did.
Sorry. Sorry.
Did, Ms. Rower, did you get out of the car first?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe for the jury how you and the defendant walked into the hotel?
Very quickly.
Prior to getting out of that car, did you ever see the defendant open the glove box and take that firearm out again?
No.
Once inside the hotel, what did you do?
I changed my clothes.
And was that back in your hotel room?
Yes.
Now, what floor? Do you remember what floor of the hotel you and the defendant were staying on?
I think we were on 4.
Okay, but you had to take an elevator up to your room?
Yes.
While you were changing your clothes, what was the defendant doing?
He took Charlie to go outside to go potty.
Did you go with him?
No,
How long was the defendant gone with your dog?
I don't know.
Where were you when the defendant came back from walking Charlie?
I was sitting by the elevators.
And can you explain to the jury where exactly you were sitting, just so they have an idea as to what that area looked like?
Outside the elevators, on each floor, they have a like a sitting room with chairs, a sofa, and a television.
And why were you sitting?
Aren't those rooms... Does anybody go and sit in those rooms? A common area in a hotel. Unless it's like a really fucking nice hotel that's, you know, there's only 4 rooms and you're all there for a shared purpose or something. You know what I mean? Like those places. Like an intimate bed and breakfast. Then you have to say hello because... But in a, what was it? A Sheraton, like a budget Sheraton. A common room in a budget Sheraton hotel in Jacksonville with a little TV and communal sitting area. No thank you. Fucking hell. I mean, maybe I would as a journalist. If there was some other traveler in there, some traveler, and I went and sat with them to get a cultural perspective on the beating heart of American travel life. What would you say? That would be pretty interesting for me, but, you know, because I'm not from there. Nowhere else. If I were from somewhere, I wouldn't want to do it there.
Sitting right there.
I was waiting for the police to come.
Did the defendant eventually come back up from walking your dog?
Yes.
When he came back in, did you and the defendant eventually go back into your room?
Yes.
And once you got back in your room, at some point, did you and the defendant decide to order a pizza?
Yes.
And how did you go about ordering that pizza?
I went downstairs and got the information from the front desk.
And once you got that information, did you come back upstairs and give it to the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And did he then call the pizza place?
Yes, he did.
And the defendant then placed the order?
Yes, he did.
And was that a delivery pizza?
Yes.
When the pizza arrived, did the defendant go downstairs to get the pizza?
Yes, he did.
And did you go with him?
No, I did not.
When he came back up, did the two of you then eat slices of pizza?
I had a couple bites.
Do you know whether or not the defendant had any pizza?
No, I don't.
Where were you sitting when you were eating your pizza?
On the bed looking out the window.
Was your back to the defendant?
Yes, it was.
Were you staring out the window?
Yes, I was.
Do you remember whether or not the blinds to that window were open or closed?
They were open.
Ms. Rower, did you have anything to drink while you were in the hotel room?
Yes, I did.
And could you tell the jury what you had to drink?
I had a rum and Coke.
Did the defendant have anything to drink?
Yes, he did.
And what did he have?
He had a rum and Coke.
And who made those drinks for you two?
Michael.
Were they stronger than the ones that you all had at the wedding?
Yes, they were.
And were they in bigger glasses?
Yes, they were.
Did you then attempt to fall asleep?
Yes, I did.
Where was the defendant when you tried to fall asleep?
He was sitting on the other side of the bed.
At some point that night, were you actually able to fall asleep?
Yes, it was.
Prior to falling asleep, did you watch any television?
The TV was on, but I wasn't watching.
What time do you remember waking up the following morning?
I think
Now, we've already established that Michael Dunn is a big Bruce Willis fan, right? He bought that gun because it is a cheaper replica, well, basically a replica, basically a direct copy of the gun that Bruce Willis used in the first Die Hard, right? And it was November at the time, late November, so it's getting towards the season that shows that people play that because people like to watch it at Christmas. And Thanksgiving is just like a pre-Christmas, basically. Then it's straight in. But imagine if he'd have got back to the hotel, ordered the pizza, poured a stiff rum and coke, 3 fingers, and then flipping through the channels, oh, they're showing Die Hard, and that's the movie that they watch. While he is circumspect, thinking about, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And he says it wasn't until 1 a.m. that he found out that there had been a fatality. But I think there's a pretty good shot. He acts like that was a surprise, but I think there's a pretty good shot that it was not a surprise, that he was expecting that, but hoping for not that, right?
it was about 7.
And where was the defendant when you woke up?
It was in the bathroom.
Ms. Rauer, when you woke up, was the television on?
Yes, it was.
And did you happen to see something on the news that morning about what had happened at the gas station?
Yes, I did.
And at that point in time, did you in fact learn that a teenager had been killed at the Gate gas station?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Rauer, did you then tell the defendant that you wanted to go home?
Yes, I did.
Did you and the defendant then pack up your things and actually head back home?
Yes, we did.
Do you remember what time you all checked out of the hotel and left Jacksonville?
I think it was around 8.
And who was driving on the way back home?
Michael was.
Did you and the defendant go straight back home?
Yes, we did.
Did you make any stops on the way?
No, we didn't.
Approximately how long did it take you to get home?
About 2.5 hours.
Did you have your cell phone on you?
Yes, I did.
And do you know whether or not the defendant had his cell phone on him?
Yes, he did.
Did either of you call 911 on the way home?
No.
Now, did you and the defendant actually have other plans for that Saturday night?
Yes.
And were those plans to go to St. Augustine at a bed and breakfast?
Yes.
Did either of you call and cancel that reservation?
No.
Around what?
God, at least she was saved from staying in that horrible bed and breakfast. You know, I'm almost tempted to set up a new channel specifically for viewing hotels, reviewing hotels that have been mentioned in true crime cases. Of course, there's the where did Luis and Sigfredo stay? The Roadway Inn, but spelled R-O-D-E, Roadway. The Roadway Inn, or Tavern, was it? No, I think it was Inn. The Roadway Inn on Monroe, right? Right on Monroe. It's now changed hands, but man, that was a that was a dank, looked like a horrible place to stay. Real dank. But you know, it happens often enough that there might be room out there in the YouTube universe for a channel that specifically reviews. And there's no end of content to look at. Photographs. You know, we could look at how the hotel represent themselves. on their website, right? And then go to TripAdvisor, where there's a whole bunch of photographs, of reviews to look at. I mean, it might even become a good service for someone looking for somewhere to stay, you know. And I don't think there's any doubt in my ability to spot problems. You all saw that in the review of the Casablanca Inn in St. Augustine, right? So we've got the knowledge. We've got the ability. I need to start making a list. Anytime there's a hotel in a crime that we'll cover on this channel, I'm going to make a list.
What time did you get back to your house in Satellite Beach?
I guess it was about 10:30.
Ms. Rauer, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 98. And is that a photograph of 257 Ocean Residence Court where you were living at the time?
Yes, it is.
Where did the defendant first park the car when you got back to your house?
And just outside of the garage.
And what did you and the defendant do once you had parked the car?
I took Charlie out back to go potty.
And do you know what the defendant was doing while you took Charlie out?
He was getting the crate out of the car.
After you all unpacked the car, did the defendant then move the car into the garage?
Yes, he did.
Ms. Rauer, while you were at your house, did you receive a call with a 904 area code on it?
Yes, I did.
Was that on your cell phone?
Yes, it was.
When you saw that call come in, did you immediately hand the phone to the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And why did you hand your phone to the defendant when you saw that call come in?
Because I saw it was from the 904 area code, and I thought it might be his son. We were supposed to meet him that day for lunch in St. Augustine.
And did you actually find out who was calling your cell phone?
Yes, I did.
And was that a homicide detective from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
Yes, it was.
Where did the defendant go once he got off the phone?
To our neighbor's house.
Now, did the defendant come out the front door and go to your neighbor's house, or did he go around back?
And then we went around back.
And approximately how many units away from your house is this neighbor's house?
He's about 3 or 4 down.
Is that 3 or 4?
3 or 4 down.
Ms. Rauer, did you eventually go over to the neighbor's house as well?
Yes, I did.
Once you got to the neighbor's house, did you receive another call on your cell phone?
Yes, I did.
And who was the second phone call from?
The Brevard County Sheriff.
And did members of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office eventually come outside your condominium complex?
Yes.
And did the defendant eventually go outside when they asked him to?
Yes.
Did you eventually speak with members of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office later that day?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, at this time I would ask permission to publish State's Exhibit 168, the surveillance tape.
All right.
And Ms. Rauer, for the record, is that you walking in?
Yes.
And you're in the black and white outfit?
Yes.
I will do. Go down.
Miss Dawn's, isn't he tall? He's so tall. I mean, you can just tell that he is really tall. Looks like basketball player tall.
Good luck.
Ms. Rauer, are you still engaged to the defendant?
No, I'm not.
Are you still in a relationship with him?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained. Well, overruled, I'm sorry.
You may answer the question.
No, I'm not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Hanania?
No, we can approach before I begin.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Need a court reporter?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there's a big gap here. Yeah, I was watching this earlier. We're going to ask Michael Dunn something, and then back to Rhonda. And now it's going to be cross-examination by ugh. Or is it? No.
2.5, 3 years, would that be fair to say?
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, Ms. Hanania, cross?
Thank you, Your Honor. 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, ma'am, Ms. Rauer, you have indicated that you were, excuse me, that you were at the time that this incident occurred engaged to Mr. Dunn. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you'd known him then for about 2.5, 3 years. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And you were living together.
Yes.
So you knew him well,
Yes.
and you had seen him in any number of situations. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
You would agree that at the time, being engaged to Mr. Dunn, that you were an important person in his life.
Yes.
Your feelings were important to him.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
one would hope. But, you know, he's been married twice before. And didn't really get the whole "you're an important person in your life" thing when he was shouting at them. You want to go back to your country? You want to get deported? You know, that then, you know, I mean, what is that? What is that? Of course, he couldn't say that to Rhonda Rao because she was a citizen, the first citizen that he'd ever been engaged to before.
you would also agree that he was a pretty...
But you know, I'm guessing that she has a problem saying no to anything. I mean, you know, he could not have picked a more dainty autumn leaf than this one, right?
Mellow kind of guy. Would that be fair to say?
Yes,
He wasn't a confrontational person. Is that fair to say?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Now, ma'am, you had indicated that you'd come up to Jacksonville with Mr. Dunn to attend his son's wedding. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. And now, you've indicated that there was alcohol served at this wedding. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. But
Boom! Thank you so much, Miss Myers, for that super chat over on the PayPal. PayPal. We appreciate that. Good night, says Miss Myers, who left some time ago. But thank you so much for the support on the PayPal.
you weren't pouring your own drinks, right?
No,
And Mr. Dunn wasn't pouring his own drinks?
no.
Okay. And you've indicated the size of those drinks was pretty small, correct?
Yes,
And do you recall how tall Mr. Dunn is?
yes.
How tall is he?
He's 6'4".
Okay. And at that time, what was his size? I
Weight?
mean, like his weight, yes, ma'am.
He's a little on the heavy side.
Okay. Was he even about what he looks like today?
No heavier.
Okay. And Mr. Dunn ate at the wedding, correct?
Yes, he did.
You didn't really have anything to eat there, though.
I didn't eat that much, no.
And he didn't have anything to drink before the wedding,
No,
just you.
that's correct.
And the wedding went well, correct?
Very well.
It was a happy occasion,
Very much so.
and Mr. Dunn was happy to be with his family and friends,
Yes, he was.
and there weren't any arguments that blew up. You know how sometimes at family events, somebody gets into a row. That didn't happen.
Not at all, no.
And when y'all left the wedding reception, Mr. Dunn was still in a happy mood.
We were very happy.
We were very happy. Hey, Rhonda, you literally dodged a bullet. This guy's a psycho, right? You don't want to be married to this guy. Any women in the chat think, hey, you know, Michael Dunn, a little bit crazy, but man, he'd make a good husband. You know? I'd love him to tell me that it's my hair that's clogging the drain in the shower and blame me. And I say, well, it's, you know, you're losing hair as well. He says, no, I'm not. And then he only realizes that when he's in jail washing his hair in the sink and sees all these great tufts coming out and says, you know what? All those times I blamed you, well, I was wrong. You know? Oh, what a catch. What a great catch.
You indicated that even though he had a few drinks, you didn't have any concerns about him driving.
No, not at all.
He wasn't behaving any differently than you know, did he?
No.
And you've seen him in the past when he had a couple of drinks, right?
Yes, I have.
Miss Hanania, did that mic go out on you?
Oh, apparently did not.
It died, so we need a new one, please.
Is it on?
Yeah. that one's
Okay.
out.
I'm sorry, I was asking you, he wasn't, and he
Okay, check this out. We've got Business Christina today. Welcome back. Business Christina. And if you also do some favorable reviews, you will get comps to come stay different places like a food critic, Metrix. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, and then all the hotels, right? Everyone will want my review. And they'll comp everything because they'll really want to impress me, right? The best hotel, the biggest suite in the place. I mean, with everything comped. Yeah. Who knows?
Typically doesn't, his behavior doesn't change when he has a couple of drinks, does it?
He just gets happier.
He just gets happier. I think that should be written at the end of, like, the bottom of the label of every magnum size 1.5 liter bottle of Woodridge Chardonnay that's sold. He just gets happier. She just gets more homicidal. That's what it says on the back. You don't want to put that on the front. The key selling point is he just gets happier.
Now, ma'am, y'all stopped at the Gate gas station because you wanted to make a stop there, is that right?
That's correct.
And the white wine was for you primarily, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
So now, you
Yeah.
testified that y'all pulled
Yeah, the white wine was for me. Michael Dunn had 6 bottles of rum.
in and he parked, and you've testified here today that the cars were parked very close together.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, ma'am, you do recall that after you got back to your home in Satellite Beach, you met with Detectives Musser and Detective Oliver, correct?
That's correct.
And you had another interview with them a few days later. I believe that was on November 28th. Isn't that correct, ma'am?
Was that Wednesday? It was a Wednesday.
Okay. So, but you remember having 2 conversations with them?
I do.
Okay. And you remember that Detective Musser and Detective Oliver were there specifically to ask you about what happened in this case, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And you stated here today that the cars were parked very closely together. Ma'am, isn't it true that when you were asked that question by Detective Musser during that interview, that you told Detective Musser that you couldn't tell him how closely the cars were together? Isn't that right, ma'am?
Yes, but
And that he then asked you, you didn't make notice of how close he parked them, and you said no. Isn't that correct, ma'am?
yes.
Now, you were asked about whether or not you noticed the car y'all were in, vibrating or doing anything like that. Your time in that Jetta before the red car left was very brief. Isn't that correct, ma'am?
That's correct.
Okay, y'all pulled in. He handed you had a brief conversation. He handed you some money and you got out of the car. Is that right?
That's correct.
So it would have been seconds that you were in the car before you were then in the store, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And by the time you came back out, the red car was gone.
That's correct.
Now, you've testified that Mr. Dunn said, "I hate that thug music." He wasn't yelling when he said that, right?
No.
He wasn't screaming?
No.
He wasn't angry?
No.
Would it be fair to say that he sounded mildly annoyed?
Yes.
Now, ma'am, you were asked to describe what you heard while you were in the Gate gas station. And you were taken through it very slowly. That you heard pop, 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 then you did this, then you did that, then you heard pop, pop, pop. Would it be fair to say, ma'am, that this all happened very fast?
Yes.
Okay. So it didn't take the 2 minutes or so that it took you to describe it. It was all like this, correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that when you looked out that you saw Mr. Dunn sitting in the car with the open door, Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay? And when you looked down, it was immediately after having heard those pops, right?
Yes.
And you never saw him standing out in the parking lot in some type of shooter pose?
No.
That he was trained to do, lady, okay? She should get that in. You know, she should weave that into the cross-examination. You know that he had a friend in the military, right? Former military. Just back from Kandahar, 2 tours. You knew that he had been extensively trained to a military standard by his friend in the military, his military friend. You knew that, didn't you, Miss Rauer? Of course you knew that, Miss Rauer.
Now, ma'am, you were asked to describe Mr. Dunn's demeanor, and you described him as anxious. Isn't it true, ma'am, that you...
Everyone's leaving. Oh, the quiet Michael Dunn footage in this little Portuguese corner of the internet. You know, how many people do we have? 30. Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's low. It's very low. I mean, we really should go back to Adelson, shouldn't we? Or that Courtney Love, what's her name? Courtney Clean Love. Clean OnlyFans Love on OnlyFans.com. Courtney somebody. Yeah, what happened there? We tried to cover that the other day. I got pissed off because the judge wasn't well mic'd. I mean, fucking hell, you know? You gotta have front mic on your camera at the back of the courtroom when the judge is speaking. Great. So what we're really listening to is a bunch of room noise. Oh, this trial's not much better. But, you know, it's a little bit better.
You described him as being shaken up?
Yes.
That he was actually physically shaking when you got back to the car, correct?
I don't recall him physically shaking.
Isn't it true, ma'am, that when you met with Detectives Musser and Oliver during these interviews, that you actually told them that he was shaking?
Yes.
And that you'd never seen him like this before, correct?
That's correct.
And that while you drove back to the hotel that y'all were staying at, correct?
Yes.
That you actually got out of, let me back up for a moment. You yourself were shaken up as well, correct?
Yes.
You've been very emotional here today. You were as emotional then, at the time that this happened, would it be fair to say?
I wasn't crying.
Okay. You weren't crying?
I wasn't crying.
Okay. You were shaken up?
I was very shaken up, yes.
Okay. You were scared of what was going on?
I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. When you got back to the hotel, you got out of the car, and you walked really quickly to the hotel, and Mr. Dunn followed you, right?
Correct.
Okay. In fact, you almost ran to the hotel. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Now, you've testified that you went up and changed your clothes, and he took y'all's dog down, correct?
That's correct.
And it was described as taking him for a walk, but in actuality, ma'am, isn't it true that all he had to do was to go down the elevators and go around the corner to this concrete slab?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Sustained.
Ms. Rauer, had you taken the dog down?
The attorney is the representative Michael Dunn, the defense attorney, cross-examination.
While y'all had been there?
Yes, I have.
And is that what you did? You took the elevators down and you walked around to this concrete?
You see, I didn't want to say anything, Chobo Dasmo, but you've done it for me. Chobo, Chobi, Dasmo. Daz says, what kind of man drives a Jetta? I've dated 2 ladies that drove one. You a ladies' man, Daz? I've never seen a man behind the wheel of one either, except for me. But that was on road trips with said girlfriend. Okay. Well, I drove a Jetta once, as a hire car, as a rental. It's just what they gave me. And I was a little disappointed. But when I got behind the wheel, yeah, you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was okay. You know, you always test hire cars a little bit. Speed, top speed, or braking, you know, corners.
Slam.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
You don't know that Mr. Dunn actually took the dog for a walk. You just know he took him down to let the dog go to the bathroom, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, there's a bathroom in the room.
Now, you talked about having ordered a pizza. Isn't it true, ma'am, that you were so upset at this?
There's something extra funny about interweaving the fact that Michael Dunn was bending over picking up dog shit, which may have been a big shit. I mean, he hadn't gone all day, right? So probably, even though it was a small dog, and young, you know, that doesn't mean anything, really. But, yeah, interwoven into this, like, murder escape is Michael Dunn outside a budget Sheraton hotel picking up a dog shit in the little holding area where you can take pets. Specifically to shit, I mean, yeah. Hope he washed his hands before pizza.
Time that your stomach was upset?
Yes.
That you were feeling physically badly?
Yes.
Okay. And that you were the person that wanted to order the pizza?
Yes.
And because you thought that it might make you feel better?
Well, Michael suggested that I might feel better if I ate something, and it was my idea to order the pizza.
Okay. And isn't it true that you told Detective Musser when you were asked about that, I wanted to order a pizza? Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And that you got the information as to how to order it, and all Mr. Dunn did was go downstairs and pick it up and bring it back up, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And when it got there, not only did you just have a couple of bites, but you don't...
God damn it, I only put 10 super chats on the goal tonight. It should be 50. What should I do? Shall I delete it and start another goal? No, I'll tell you what, I'll leave it at 10, and if we get to 10, we'll start another goal for 50. So let's see how fast we can get to 10 super chats on tonight's goal. There it is at the top of the chat. Isn't it good? It's a good goal.
remember or seeing Mr. Dunn eat anything.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you talked about the fact that y'all had...
So Christina says, she's got two comments here that I believe are connected. Christina says, man, she's high maintenance. And then wine and pizza. What are you saying, that she should be happy with one or the other? You know, or that she needed both together because she's high maintenance. I mean, yeah, it pretty much takes care of the evening, doesn't it? Bottle of wine and pizza. I mean, that's dinner, easy. And then sleepy juice. And then go to sleep.
Mix these rum and coke.
Check it out. Look, we got Toyo Open Country straight into the gate. Straight into the gate. With a fantastic super chat all the way from Canada. Open Country.
And those were much stronger than the ones that you'd had at the wedding, correct? Or at least somewhat stronger.
Correct.
Okay. Now, isn't it true, ma'am, that the reason that y'all did that is because you're both still so shaken up?
Yes.
In other words, this wasn't date night that y'all were having, right?
No,
Okay. This wasn't pizza and a beer and you guys were enjoying yourselves. Isn't that right?
that's correct.
Okay. You tried to go to sleep, but when you finally did go to sleep, Mr. Dunn was still awake, correct?
That's correct.
He was sitting on the side of the bed.
That's correct.
And when you woke up the next morning, he was already up.
That's correct.
And to your knowledge, he didn't even sleep.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Sustained.
And y'all were staying in a hotel room, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the TV was just kind of on in the background. Is that right, ma'am?
That's correct.
And it's true, ma'am, isn't it, that you're the person that wanted to go home when y'all found out about the death of this person. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that you were adamant about wanting to go home. Isn't that right, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, when you did get home, you said that Mr. Dunn parked his car in the garage. That's where he normally parked the car, isn't it?
When we first got home, no, he was parked outside the garage. Because
Go ahead.
you can't open the doors because it's a small garage.
Okay. But he would normally park his car inside the garage?
Yes.
Okay. And once he had parked his car in the garage, he actually had left the door open. Isn't that right, ma'am?
He left the door open?
The garage door open?
The garage door open, yes.
Okay. And you're actually the person that closed the garage door so that it...
Boom! Another great super chat from our good friend and colleague, Christina, in Wisconsin, or Illinois, or Mississippi. We don't know. What's the truth? Tell us the truth. You know, wouldn't it be great if we could do like AI of Christina being questioned by the same detectives that interviewed Stephen McDaniel? But the goal is not to find out who killed Lauren Giddings, but to find out in which state Christina really resides. You know, where is that? It changes. It seems to change weekly, and we don't know what's going on. Could it be CIA? Maybe. Because they scramble the map, don't they? That's what they call it. I saw that movie. They scramble the map, which is exactly what she does, isn't it? Talking about Mississippi mud pie one week, and then other things. Location indicators, little breadcrumbs for us to think we can follow, right, for clues, but they're all false. Completely false. That's what they call it, the scramble the map. CIA training. Probably not even, could be a complete made-up account. AI.
looks the way it looks in that photograph you were shown.
Yes.
And when you drove to the hotel the night before, did Mr. Dunn parked the car right in front of the hotel?
Yes.
Okay. Did he back the car in so that you couldn't see the tag number?
No.
Did he back the Volkswagen Jetta, the black Jetta? Did he back that around so you couldn't see the tag number? No. No, he's parked normally in the front, right near the road. No, but to everybody thinking that the Volkswagen Jetta is a car for little girls, nice car. Did they give you a free dress to wear when you drive that car? You know, everybody that thinks it's for just little girls, check this out. Check it out. Where is it now? Where are the J's? J something. Jetta. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Boom. Yeah. It looks like it could drive to Mars and back in 2 hours. Outer space. Outer space. This is what Michael Dunn was, you know, sold when he put in the order for his Volkswagen Jetta. You can look like Batman. You can drive everywhere just like Batman in your Batmobile. Look at it. Dark. Dark. But with a purpose. Yeah, that's, maybe he was going to do a few mods, you know, bit by bit. Get the front spoiler 1 week, and then, you know, a couple of months, we'll take care of the lowering the suspension, and just bit by bit. I'm sure people do that, you know, when they get a car. So they can look good, you know, maybe.
Did he make any attempt that you saw to...
I don't know about good, really. I mean, it can look like a Batmobile, you know, if that's your thing, if that's what you want in your car, a Batmobile, because you're living out some sort of cartoon superhero fantasy when you drive everywhere like Batman. I mean, you know, personally, I think it's trying too hard, you know, all that body kit, you know. It's like people drive around like that. It's like, hey, did you see my car? I'm in my car, did you see? Did you see my car? You know, they really want you to look at their car, don't they? I think what they need to do is take a good look at the person inside, you know, and put them in a car suitable to their needs. It's a little showy, right? Bit too showy. Bit too showy. And it's always an indicator of severe psychological problems that come out in other ways.
hide the presence of the car?
No,
Or to try to make it unnoticeable?
no.
Now, you indicated
Yeah, South Dakota. Okay. Isn't that where all those old Army surplus storages are that are just abandoned? What are you not telling us, Christina?
that after you had gotten to the
everything you
house, that Mr. Dunn eventually went over, or shortly, almost immediately after you got home, went over to Mr. Lescolette's home, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And while the two of you were there, Brevard County Sheriff's officers arrived. Is that right?
That's correct.
And they gave instructions to Mr. Dunn. Is that right?
That's correct.
And he obeyed all of the instructions that they gave him. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And ma'am, isn't it true that immediately following the incident, you believed that you could have been arrested for this incident?
Yes.
Okay. You believe that simply by your being present and part of this, that you yourself were potentially facing criminal charges. Isn't that right?
Yes.
You still believed that.
Uh-oh. Well, you still believe that? We'll never know because it's the end of the video, goddammit. Ah! We did that one already.
Yeah.
What about Detective Musser? We got a closing arguments. I wanted more witnesses from the scene. That's what this episode was supposed to be. Where are the witnesses from the scene? Because there's that lifeguard. We've got to hear from him. And there's some sort of chaperoned date couple or something. They're taking two younger people from their church to, for their first date. but their parents only allowed it if they go with these older couple. Yeah, that sounds fun, doesn't it? You know? They're sitting behind you in the movie theater, watching. No touching! No fun at all. No fun at all. What about this one? Hello?
Based on when the officer was over there.
Did we do this one already? Oh, no, maybe I was watching this. Well, let's check it out. Oh yeah, there's that guy again, the kid. Selling gold kid. What did you do? I stole gold. And what did you do then? Stole gold. I mean, you know, what about, you know, a TV or something? I guess he had a good contact, get a good price. No questions asked, cash in hand, gold, we buy gold. Who's got gold bars in their safe right now?
May he be excused?
He may.
Mr. Stroller?
Yes,
All right, thank you, sir, you're excused. State's next witness, please.
Madeleine. Madeleine's back. Welcome back, Madeleine.
Your Honor, the state next calls Mariah Grimes. And may Mr. Stroll and I approach, Your Honor, as she's approaching?
Yes, Mariah Grimes.
It's taken care
Oh,
of. Yes, that was the issue.
okay. Mariah Grimes, please.
Mariah Grimes. What does she do after that?
Ms. Grimes, if you could come all the way up to the front for me, please, ma'am. And right up here to the front, if you'll raise your right hand, the clerk will administer the oath to you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
All right, ma'am, if you'll come right around here and have a seat for me in the witness chair. And if you scoot yourself up to the microphone, be sure and speak right into the microphone and speak loudly so everybody can hear you, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Be sure and speak up.
Okay.
Ms. Wolfson, go right ahead.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Okay. Mariah Grimes, Mariahgrimes.
Ms. Grimes, where are you currently employed?
Gate Petra.
Now, Ms. Grimes, how long have you been employed? Excuse me, let me strike that. Is that Gate Petroleum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Ms. Grimes, how long have you been employed by Gate Petroleum?
Since September 2012.
Now, Ms. Grimes, could you just speak into the microphone?
Oh, September 2012.
Okay, thank you, that's better. Now, do you work at a particular Gate gas station store?
Yes, the Southside and Bay Meadows store.
And how long have you worked at that particular store?
Since I started.
Could you tell the jury what your role is at Gate Petroleum?
Okay, I'm a CSR, which is a customer service representative.
A CSR? Well, they're about to be replaced by the DSM. Or maybe not DSM. What else? The XWP, the CSR. That's a thing of the past now. It's all about XP, or XP 2000.
And I just ring customers up and do the cleaning. And
I mean, what's wrong with fucking cashier? Why does it need to be? I'm a customer service. What was it? Representative. Okay, well, do I want a receipt? No. Are you going to be replaced by a machine? Yes. I mean, you would have been already if it wasn't such a political decision.
all that good stuff.
Now, Ms. Grimes, I'd like to turn your attention back to November 23rd of 2012. Were you working on that particular day?
Yes, I was.
And were you working then at that particular Gate gas station store?
Yes, I was.
And that's here in Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am.
in Duval County?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Grimes, what shift were you working on that day?
Second shift, which is 2 to 10 p.m.
And during that day when you were you working then as a customer service representative?
Yes, I was.
When you're working at the gas station stores, are you assigned to a particular register?
You get the register that's open when you go in, when you clock in.
Okay, and on this particular day, who else was working?
Lillian, which was our assistant manager at the time, and a coworker, Darion.
Ms. Grimes, do you remember which particular register you were working at?
Yes, I was at register number 3.
Now, could you explain to the jury when you're walking in to the gas station what the store looks like and where the registers are?
Okay, when you walk in, you're immediately facing register number 2. To your right is register 1, and to your left is register number 3.
Now, Ms. Grimes, are those registers in a line?
They curve, so you're facing 2, 1 is off to
You see, it's questions like this that make people run a mile whenever they hear the words jury service, right? Jury summons. You're summoned to come and listen to all these questions for like 2 weeks straight, every day. And Miss Grimes, could you describe the gate gas station in terms of where the cashier registers are to the jury? And then the answer is inevitably something like, well, you walk into the gas station and then you turn diagonally to the left and then they're up against that corner. You know, and the jury's sitting there listening to this, and then to 50 other questions just like that for like 3 hours. And then they get a little break and then they have to come back and listen to a load of other hours. I mean, you know, it's not all Georgia Kappelman on the stand, or you know, with Charlie Adelson on the stand going, "Doctor, is it doctor?" Okay, doctor. Have you ever heard the explanation, the simplest theory is the best one? You know? Most of it is like watching fucking paint dry, isn't it? That's why we're here, to give the best clips.
to the left, the right side, and then over to the left is register number 3.
Okay, and are those 3 registers, is it one particular, is it one continuous counter?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you work on register 3 then for your entire shift?
Look,
Yes.
Hello Shani says, it's 6:30 a.m. for Metrix. How is he not tired? Well, we slept all day, and then we slept all evening, and then we got up. So, yeah. But, you know, it's true that we are living on Melbourne time at the moment.
Okay, and do you know where your coworker Darian was working?
Yeah, he had register number 1.
And then where was your assistant manager Lillian working?
She had register number 2.
Ms. Grimes, during your shift, did anything out of the ordinary happen?
Not until the incident with,
Go ahead.
no, the incident with the gunshots.
Now, Ms. Grimes, where were you when you heard those gunshots?
I was behind my register number 3.
Were you helping any customer when you were behind your register?
Yes, I had a customer.
Who were you helping?
A woman who was buying a bag of chips and a bottle of wine.
Do you remember what she looked like?
She was tall, I would say mid-40s, brunette hair down to her shoulders, and she was dressed in nice clothes.
What happened after you heard those first gunshots?
Me and my customer looked out front, outside the window, to see what was going on.
Now, can you explain to the jury from behind register 3, what window would you be looking out of? In reference to where the front doors are.
Okay. The front door is facing register 2, so our first window pane that you could see from register number 3, like I don't know how to describe it. You could just see out to the parking spots and the gas pumps. I don't know.
And now, Ms. Grimes, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 5. Is that up on your screen?
Okay.
And looking at State's Exhibit 5, can you circle which window it is that you would have been able to see out of?
This one. And the column kind of blocks the shot. Do you have a better one?
I was just about to get
Okay.
State's Exhibit 6.
Yeah, the same one then. This one.
And then I believe State's Exhibit 10. Is that a closer
Okay, yeah.
photograph?
Both of them.
Okay, so those are then the two windows that you would have been able to see out of?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Grimes, in looking at State's Exhibit 10, can you tell the jury whether or not there's any signage on those windows that would prevent your view?
So we've got a Wendy opinion here from Celia Triolo. Celia says, time is ticking for Wendy. No university degree will help her now. So what's that time ticking on, though? You know, what is it ticking on? There's no downtime for the holidays if you're the prosecutor of Leon County, you know. So they've got to do something, but when? And why haven't they done it already? Arrest her. But it's like staging armies, isn't it? Because surely Georgia Kappelman has a strategy. And the other people, that boss that I hate, that I always forget his name. What is it? Something like John or Jim, or something. They've thought it all through, right? They've got a strategy. They've got several strategies, but it depends on what Wendy's strategy is. So I like to think that they're trying to anticipate Wendy's strategy, and that is the holdup. Because it's not evidence gathering. All the evidence has been gathered. This was a hugely costly investigation to the FBI, to other authorities, and now the prosecutor's office. There's no more evidence to gather. Everything that they have, that they will use, they have. So it's not that. Do they feel that they don't have enough? I think they have enough to give it a fucking great shot, especially in Tallahassee. Because all the jury is tainted. But no, just for other reasons, you know, ability to communicate. The disdain for Tallahassee. So maybe they're just trying to anticipate what she's going to do. But I really don't see any reason. I don't see any reason that they shouldn't have arrested her already. So why they haven't now? The clock is ticking. That was the original comment. The clock is ticking. Well, is it? How fast? Can we speed it up? Ticking on what? That's the question.
At the time there wasn't, but the first window, the one that doesn't have any sign, is the one I can see out the best.
Okay.
And then
Ms. Grimes, how many gunshots did you first hear?
Is J.K. Dom Mrs. D? We had a great question for you the other day, Mrs. D. It was something about linguistics, but I don't remember what it was. I'll see if I wrote it down.
I heard about 3 gunshots, and that's when I looked out the window.
What did you see when you looked out of the window?
A black 4-door car and hands holding a gun.
I think it was a Toyota Prius. It was a black 4-door car with 4 wheels. Definitely a Prius or a Nissan Sentra. But definitely not a Volkswagen.
Gun rested on the windowsill.
Now, in looking at State's Exhibit 10, Ms. Grimes, can you put an X where you saw that black car? Now, I know you stated you saw hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, was that 2 hands?
Yes.
Okay, and what were they holding?
They were holding a silver gun.
Could you see which direction the gun was pointed?
They were pointed outside of the driver's window.
What is this? We have to play a video from David. David put a video. What is the video? Is it a copyright video? Because they've got me on thin ice. Discord. Dumb short I did about Wendy going to hell, okay? Let me pre-screen this. The video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. Okay. That's what it says for me. What did you do? God, I'm glad we didn't play it now. Shame on you, David. What happened? Do you want to see the screenshot for proof? I'll show it to you. Show it to you right now. Right here, see? Boom. That's what it says. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's policy on harassment and bullying. So, I mean, I can't even play it on YouTube, so.
So
hang on.
north.
Let's see if anything got said about this. It's 2 minutes. Well, I would have done. Canva Pro is a great app, but it cannot do complicated video edits or animation. The jank adds that. I don't know. Well, it doesn't play. If you sort it out, I'll play it.
I believe.
So would they have been pointing into that parking spot that's right to the left of the X?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell from where you were if there was anything next to that black car?
I did not see another car next to him. The car, I'm sorry.
Now,
The car, the murder car.
Ms. Grimes, from where you were inside at the gas station, could you tell whether or not a door was open on that black car?
Yes, the door was not open.
Now, after initially looking out the front window, what did you do?
I got down and I said, he's shooting. And I got down and then I got back up and then looked out the window.
Any military training? What did you do when you heard the gunfire? I got down and said, he's shooting, which is exactly what a Marine would do, or a Navy SEAL, you know.
Window. And by that time, my customer had walked already to the door, the front door, and I watched her get into the passenger side of the car and then drive away.
Now, Ms. Grimes, before she walked out of the store, did you hear any other gunshots?
Yes.
How many gunshots in total did you hear?
I heard about 6 more.
And when you heard those 6 more gunshots, was that customer, was she still inside of the store?
Yes, she was making her way to the door.
Now, when she...
It is Mrs. D. I thought it was. Well, Mrs. D, I think what it was when we were looking at the wording of the Casablanca Inn in St. Augustine, where Michael Dunn had planned to stay in their quote-unquote fairly expensive bed and breakfast, which I may be putting up as a test video for our brand new Hotel Motel Metrix review channel, which won't be long. It's probably only 20 minutes. So if you see that come up, check that out, because that's where the question will be.
Walk towards the door, Miss Grimes. Could you tell where she went when she got to the door?
What do you mean?
When your customer got to the front door of the Gate store, could you see where she went?
Yes, I watched her walk and get into the passenger side of the car.
And once she got into the passenger side of the car, did you see what happened with that car?
They just pulled from the spot and left.
Now, when
Fucking hell, David Anderson Kirk. Listen, so just a recap here. David Anderson Kirk has created a video, some short about Wendy. And then he came on here and he said, oh, can you play the video? And I said, sure, let me check it out. It's not going to give me any copyright issues, is it? And then I checked it out and it said it had been removed for bullying. So thanks, That's like sending a landmine my way. Just scooting it right under my where I'll be walking. Yeah. A Trojan horse, No, it's all good.
when the front door opened and that customer walked out, could you hear anyone speaking or anything like that outside?
Just her. She said, Michael, what's going on? And then she left.
Ms. Grimes, prior to these gunshots, could you hear any loud music from outside the store?
I could not hear any music.
Do you remember hearing any sort of an argument from within the store?
Maybe we should do a poll on the chat to see. I want to know how many people would come out of after witnessing a shooting, come out as Rhonda did in this scenario. Rhonda comes out, says, "What's going on? Why are you shooting into that vehicle?" And he says, "Get in the car, we need to go." And then he repeats himself, "Get in the car, we need to go." And she gets in the car and they go. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to imagine. What would I do? Well, I guess I might go. Like if my girlfriend had just shot into a car and then pulled it around and said, "We need to go, get in the car," I guess I'd go. But I'd want to know what was going on, like, straight away, and then make another decision.
No, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Grimes, do you know whether or not the Gate station has surveillance?
I know we have surveillance inside the store, but not outside.
Okay. Your Honor, this time I would ask to publish the Gate station surveillance video.
All right.
again, which is State Exhibit 168.
Hot dog, and I'm kind of old now, but I'm cool. I'll take you down home with my dad. He'll eat this.
Yes, ma'am. Next to me, to my left, is register 2, and then where he's standing, my coworker is register 1.
You see, just your average worker, keeping the system running. Where do you work? I work at the gas station, Gate gas station down on Bay Meadows, corner of Southside. It's not glamorous work, but someone's got to do it, and it helps everybody. Just going about her day, right? Come in, do a shift, chit chat in the fucking break room about shit with people that you don't like. And then you go home and you rest a little bit, get ready to do the whole thing again tomorrow. You know, every day. But someone's got to do it, you know? Someone's got to do it. And that lady was doing it right there. But then Michael Dunn made his move and sent death into the red Dodge Durango. Very tacky. Just ruined her life. Ruined her life. Ruined her life. Never be the same.
Yes, ma'am.
And look at that. Probation dodging, car stealing, music blaring thug right there, huh? You know, going about his day doing criminal acts, hurting the community with his selfishness and thug nature. But it's okay, because God's plan was to send Michael Dunn to murder his 17-year-old friend as a warning for him to straighten up and get away from the life of crime. I mean, that's what Michael Dunn thought about his actions. Okay.
Good luck.
I apologize.
That's all right. I just couldn't hear.
Ms. Grimes, I'm looking at the right corner of the surveillance footage. Do you see that receipt?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that then correspond to what the customer is purchasing?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. I wonder where she goes for lunch. Somewhere nice. Somewhere real nice. Somewhere soft. Acapella says, I'd stuff myself into the freezer. Which might have made sense in whatever context it was in, but I missed the context. When were we talking about freezers? Hello, Acapella. Come to think of it, I might have not even gone outside. I mean, whatever he's doing out there, you know, I can be in here. I think I'll stay in here.
Oh my God.
You know, he knows where I am, right? If he wants me, he'll come in. I mean, I'm not going out there. Fuck no.
Where? This guy right here.
Yeah. That old white guy.
Oh my God, that was like so
He's
scary.
only 45, but he looks older.
Yeah, this guy right here.
No, Ms. Grimes, on the screen, oops. I know she's a little off to the corner. Is that then your assistant manager, Lillian Christensen?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you then have a conversation with her and tell her what you had seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at some point, Ms. Grimes, did the police arrive on scene?
Yes, they did.
Prior to the police arriving on scene, did you ever go outside?
No, I didn't.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not a courtroom that I would be happy to be in as a defendant. Is that possible, that the format of a room can impact on the energy that's created in your trial? I think so. I think so. The feng shui. It's a punishing feng shui. It just doesn't feel like a room that's going to be kind to me as a defendant, you know. And if it's not kind to me, the jury are going to sense that, and they're going to judge me through the lens of the room, right?
And for the record, I'm showing Ms. Grimes previously.
You see, I bet courts in Japan take that all into account, right? They're like, okay, is the room neutral to the defendant? You know, because if we're going to have a justice system, but the room screams guilty verdict, you know, it's just got this very law and order, I mean, which is appropriate, but it's oppressive, you know. And anybody that's ever walked around, you know, German architecture is very oppressive. It feels like it's angry at you. The buildings feel like they're judging you. Very oppressive. And this courtroom is like that almost. It's the same judgment, you know. I think it would affect the trial.
Then entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 169.
Imagine listing that in a reason for a mistrial, though, citing. And the room, we believe that the jury were biased, the judge was corrupt, and also the room was very judgy, you know, the room was like this oppressive judgment room, so we feel that impacted the jury's sense of what was truly just in this case. So mistrial and release me.
Ms. Grimes, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 169. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I printed it out for the policeman.
And what is State's Exhibit 169?
The receipt that the lady that was purchasing the stuff, her receipt.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't, you in the back row, if you can't see it very well, you'll have an opportunity to look at it carefully and more closely when you take it back to the jury room to deliberate your verdict.
Yeah, I agree, Christina. I mean, to me, the room, the format of the bench and everything, it screams, we are here to convict. We are definitely leaning toward conviction. You know?
Now, Ms. Grimes, the woman who was making the purchase, did she actually complete her purchase?
She never took the product.
Madeleine says, Frank, I wish you could tell me where to hang my paintings in my new place. Well, sure. You know, send us some pictures over on the Discord. Madeleine's on Discord now. She just joined us recently, and everyone else should too, because it only gets better.
Or her change, but I did cash her out.
A moment.
Yes, ma'am.
German architecture is inviting and warm, okay? Well, I challenge anybody to go and look up the Deutsche Bank headquarters in Frankfurt, Germany. You know, tell me if that's the image of welcoming, homely architecture. Why don't we bring it up right now on screen? We can have a collective opinion. Deutsche Bank headquarters in Frankfurt. Oh, here we go. So save, and we'll call it bank. Great. Now, here it is. I mean, doesn't that look like if there were aliens among us that had landed and are now controlling the world? I think this is where they would live. I mean, look at that building. You know, it's not the kind of place that you'd walk into and say, "Hello, I'd like to open an account." Is this the homely national bank? Yeah, oppressive. It is.
Just one last question.
Okay.
We'll just take a minute.
Mistrial, bad feng shui, indeed, acapella.
Is that microphone on the podium working? Yeah. Battery die?
Absolutely. Absolutely send Metrix pics of the paintings in your house, a copy of the floor plan, and a few, also photos of the wall. That's helpful. And we will send you a decorating strategy that will change your life. You know, I think that's what we're adding, right, to the community and to everyone, is the opportunity to have a better life with Metrix. And, I think add value. That is what should be at the beating heart of any YouTube channel out there. And if we can help improve people's lives by showing them how to decorate, I'd say that's adding value. A lot.
This one? Now it's on.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Grimes, looking at the screenshot that's up there right now, can you just circle for the jury where the front door is?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay. I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Stroll across?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Grimes. How are you?
I'm fine.
Looking at that video that was just up there, you're familiar with the gate surveillance video. Obviously, in the store, you know there's...
Okay, before the cross-examination gets going, the one thing that they seem to do with every single witness is like, and did you notice a trash can next to the gate gas station? And do you happen to know if that gas station, if that trash can was searched by law enforcement? Oh, you don't know? Okay, it wasn't? Okay. That's the whole thing, because they just want to get this idea that the boys in the car had a shotgun that they ditched. So how long, the game is, how long do you think it's going to be before he mentions a shotgun, or did you see anyone throw anything up on the roof?
videos there,
Yes, yes, sir.
and there's several of them.
Yes.
And matter of fact, on that video, you could click on every different video and get that different angle from that camera, correct?
Yes.
And audio's being recorded, correct?
Yes.
And matter of fact, isn't it true the first time you actually saw that video, you saw it online because your aunt told you the news posted your video online, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when you took your depo, you actually referred in your answers of, I didn't remember saying that until I saw it online.
What part are you talking about? What did
The
I
part where
say
you
that I
ducked
didn't?
down? Do you remember not even ducking down until you saw it on the video and saying, oh my God?
I don't remember saying that, to be honest.
Okay. And do you recall, again, the first time seeing it, it was out in the news and your family member had you watch it?
Yes, a few months later, I believe.
Okay. And isn't it true that your testimony is the gentleman you saw shooting that gun, his hands were on the windowsill the entire time, correct?
Yes.
And by windowsill, you mean the driver's windowsill?
Yes.
Right. He wasn't leaning out of the car.
No.
He didn't open the door and jump out of the car.
I didn't see him do that, no.
Okay. And matter of fact, when you popped back up, you could clearly see him, correct?
I just saw hands. I didn't know if it was male or female.
But I meant you could clearly see in front of you.
Oh, yes, I could.
And just, I know the video is kind of on an angle. May I move your arm?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I know on video it's kind of funny. Even though this is cash register 3, let's pretend you're at your register 3, right?
Okay.
Register 2 would be right over here,
Yes.
and then register 1 would kind of be around the corner where Darian Eights was. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And matter of fact, there's cameras at the front door, cash register 1, 2, 3, the office, the cooler, things like that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You can see that from the same video. You just have to click on it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, from where you are, let's just again assume you're cash register 3 from the video. What you saw was directly in front of you, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, not to say cash register 1 is the first one in line. The way gate works, it's kind of odd. I know it's on an angle, right? Mm-hmm. And then when
Yes.
you walk in the door, you go to the left, your cash register is right there, correct?
Yes.
And the very first spot is right in front of you, correct?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Isn't it also true that you couldn't see anything to your right next to that car shooting?
I couldn't see 2 more spaces past.
Okay. And isn't it true you couldn't see any vehicle or red SUV next to him? Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
And you couldn't see anything to 2 spaces over. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then so there's no SUV next to him.
No.
There's no SUV in the 3rd spot next to him.
Correct.
And then you couldn't see the 4th because there's a column, correct?
Yes, there
And at
is.
that point, there's some things on the window that blocked your view?
Correct.
Okay. So your testimony is when you saw the firing and you see the hands on the windowsill, nobody's next to him for 2 spots, correct?
Correct.
And you'd also agree there was a lot of news coverage in this case. We talked about that a little bit.
Yes, none directed towards me though. Like I never.
Well, not that you gave interviews, but
yeah.
they put your video, they put that online, right?
Yes, they did.
And that's how you found it. It wasn't the state attorney's, your aunt showed it to you.
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it true that night, and again, you were freaked out, fair to say?
Correct.
You ever been through anything like that before?
No, I haven't.
It's extremely scary, is it not?
It is.
Okay, and did it shake you up?
It did.
I think at one point, if I recall from the video, Miss Christensen said you want to take a minute, and I think you even walked away from the counter to kind of catch your breath.
I did.
Okay, and at that point, do you remember talking to Darian Eights about what just had happened, your co-employee?
I believe I did talk to him.
And you talked to Lillian Christensen?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Well, Judge, I'm not going into, if I may approach, Your Honor.
Okay.
Turn my mic off, sorry, Judge.
Mic off. Offer another sidebar. Great. Maybe I'm going to skip this witness. I mean, we get the idea. Oh, who's this now?
Please state and spell your name for the record.
Lillian Christensen, Lillian Lillian, Christensen Christensen.
Now, Ms. Christensen, do you live here in Jacksonville?
Yes, I do.
And are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
Where do you currently work?
With a Quick Trip Texaco.
What do you do for Texaco?
I work in a convenience store.
How long have you worked for Texaco?
Since October
Was that of 2013?
of 2013, yes.
Now, Ms. Christensen, where did you work prior to your current job at Texaco?
Gate Petroleum,
How long did you work for Gate Petroleum?
16 years.
Ms. Christensen, what was your position within Gate Petroleum?
Assistant manager.
Now, prior to leaving Gate Petroleum, did you work at a particular store?
Prior to working for Gate,
Oops, strike that. Prior to leaving Gate, which store were you working at?
at the time I left, I was working on Bay Meadows Road.
Now, Ms. Christensen, I'd like to turn your attention to November 23rd of 2012. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
Now, which store were you working at that day?
I was working at the store located at the corner of Southside Boulevard and Bay Meadows.
And what was your position at that particular store?
Assistant manager.
Could you explain to the jury what your duties entailed being an assistant manager?
Overseeing operations, making sure that things run smoothly.
Yeah, for everybody, for the whole society. Gas stations. People love to stop at gas stations.
Now, back on November 23rd of 2012, what hours were you working?
1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Who else was working with you that day?
Mariah Grimes and Darion Aites.
Ms. Christensen, while you were working that day, did you work at a particular register?
I worked at Register 2.
And is it fair to say that when you walk into the Gate store, then register?
Boom! Thank you so much, Madeleine, for the super chat over on the PayPals. That is a great super chat, and we love it very much. Madeleine says, "Always sorry it's not more TCM." Well, you know, we appreciate everything. Thank you so much, Madeleine.
Register 2 would be straight ahead?
Yes.
Okay, with register 1 to your right, register 3 to the left?
If you were walking into the store, Register 1 would be on your right and 3 would be on your left.
Okay. This is not a good witness. I want the guys that were in the parking lot, you know. Register 1 would be on the left, and register 2 would be in the middle, and register 3, well, that would go way down on the right. Okay, we get it. Gas station. What about this one? Who's this? Ah, look, a new witness.
All right, ma'am, if you'll come right around here for me and have a seat. Once you're comfortable, if you scoot kind of up to that microphone, be sure to speak right into it and speak loudly so everybody can hear you, all right?
Okay.
Ms. Wolfson?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Samantha Eikes, Samanthaeich.
I thought she said, "My name is Samantha, I guess." Guess that's my name. But I gather it was Samantha, I guess? Is that a name? It's a funny name.
A.S.
Ms. Eikes, do you live here in Jacksonville?
Icus.
And are you currently employed?
I am.
Where do you currently work?
Advanced Auto Parts.
In which, is there a particular location of Advanced Auto Parts?
And how much sexual harassment goes on at your workplace? Where do you work? I work with boys. A lot of boys.
You work at?
The Bay Meadows location.
Now, Ms. Eikes, how long have you worked at Advanced Auto Parts?
A year and 4 months.
And what is your current job description there?
A delivery driver.
Could you explain to the jury what it means to be a delivery driver?
I bring parts from our store to local garages and businesses.
Now, Ms. Eikes, when you make those deliveries, do you use a company car?
I do.
Are there multiple company cars that you have at your disposal?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Eikes, I'd like to turn your attention to November 23rd of 2012. Were you working that particular night at Advanced Auto Parts?
Yes, I was.
Do you remember what hours you were working?
Normally a 1 to close shift, so 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
1 o'clock to 9 o'clock? And Ms. Ickes, if you could just make sure that you speak up into the microphone that's in front of you. Now, on that particular night, Ms. Ickes, at some point, did you leave the store and go get a cup of coffee?
Yes, ma'am.
Around what time was it when you left the store?
Around 7 o'clock, right around there.
Okay. And Ms. Ickes, where did you go to get your cup of coffee?
The Gate gas station on South Side.
Is that a Gate gas station that you are familiar with?
Yes, ma'am.
And how often do you go to that gas station?
4 times a week.
Now, when you left to go get a cup of coffee, what car were you driving?
My white work truck.
And that's a company car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Ms. Ickes, I'm going to show you a photograph. This is State's Exhibit 3.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna
Looking at State's Exhibit 3, can you explain to the jury where Advanced Auto Parts is?
Boom! Kyle, straight in with the Jewish coffee. Thank you, Kyle. What did Kyle say? Kyle says, "What do you think of the staircase trial?" Well, what? You mean the, what's his name? Peterson, Michael Peterson. That one. Well, I only know a little bit about it, so I don't know if I have so much of an opinion.
If you go down South Side and take a right onto Bay Meadows,
Kosher
it's the
style
next stoplight
coffee.
on.
That's of course what it should be. Kosher style coffee. You know, sometimes I feel like having a cappella here is like having an extra brain. You know? Just like on standby. I mean, or on constant watch. Never mind standby. Like on an extra brain on on constant watch. Yeah. Constant watch.
On your left-hand side.
Okay, and can you put a little line where Bay Meadows is on the screen? If you touch it, you should be able to mark it. So from where you were working at Advanced Auto Parts, which direction of travel did you take to get to the Gate gas station?
I was headed east.
Headed east on Bay Meadows?
Yes.
And then was your intention to turn left onto South Side?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Ickes, I'm looking at the intersection of Bay Meadows and South Side, and I know it's a little bit off of this photograph. Did you stop at that light that night where you stopped?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were your windows up or down in the truck?
My driver's side window was down about 2 inches.
And what about the passenger side?
It was up.
Okay. Was anyone else in the truck with you?
No, ma'am.
And Ms. Ickes, did you have any music on?
No, ma'am.
Were you on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
And who were you on the phone with?
My friend Jen.
Now, Ms. Ickes, as you were stopped at that intersection, actually strike that, what lane were you in when you were stopped at the intersection?
I was in the left-hand turning lane, but the right-hand lane to turn left.
Okay, so just for the jury's knowledge, are there two then left-hand turning lanes there?
Yes.
Okay. As you were stopped at that light, what did you hear?
I heard gunshots.
Could you tell where the gunshots were coming from?
No, ma'am.
And from where you were, could you see the gunshots at all, like the muzzle flashes or anything?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember how many gunshots you heard?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember if it was one big series of gunshots or multiple sets?
It was one big series.
Okay. Ms. Ickes, what did you do once the light turned green?
I took a left onto South Side and then took a right into the gas station parking lot.
And will you, you can draw on this as well to show the jury where exactly you turned right?
I turned left here and took a right into there.
And Ms. Ickes, this is now State's Exhibit 2. Is that up on your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is this then just a close-up of that entrance into the gate station?
Yep.
And can you show the jury then where you went once you turned right?
I came in through here.
Ma'am, you need to speak into that microphone.
I came in through right here and parked right in front of the ice machine.
Okay, and just so the record's clear then, and based on what you drew, you turned right once you came into the entrance and then turned left up and parked in front of the Gate gas station?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you park when you got to the Gate gas station?
Right in front of the ice machine.
And once you parked, did you immediately get out of your truck?
No, ma'am.
What were you doing?
I was still on the phone with my friend Jen.
What did you notice as you were sitting in your truck?
I was sitting there finishing up my conversation, and a red SUV pulled in next to me.
When that red SUV pulled in next to you, did they pull into the spot directly next to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do once you noticed there was a car next to you?
I noticed that there were bullet holes in the side of the car, so my window was down a little, and I asked if everybody was okay.
Ms. Ickes, I'm now showing you State's Exhibit 43. Does that picture look familiar?
Yes.
And what is that a photograph of?
Maybe she just saw an opportunity to get her business on the map, right? And where is it you work? Well, I'm at Advanced Auto Parts over on South Side. So South Side and Bay Meadows, Advanced Auto Parts. It's like an auto parts store, but better because it's advanced. And that's where we are. It's the location. So come and see us if you need any parts or auto parts or advanced auto parts. Southside and Bay Meadows.
The car that pulled up next to me.
So when you looked to your left, this is what you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ickes, when you first asked if everyone was okay, were you still inside your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Was anyone outside of the red SUV?
Yeah. The passenger side and I believe the driver also got out.
And those would be the front seats?
Yes.
And Ms. Ickes, I'm showing you State's Exhibit 4. Is that white truck your truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 8, is that a close-up?
Yes.
And Ms. Ickes, is that then?
Oh wow! So they parked right next to the. So she's on the phone in the truck there, the white truck, and these guys just pull in, and pull a fucking dead body out of the car. Everyone's covered in blood and in complete shock. Be something to see, wouldn't it?
Exactly where you parked your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see where the two people out of the car were actually standing? Could you see where they were?
No, ma'am.
Okay, at some point, did you see where they were standing?
They were standing in front of the car once I had gotten out of the car.
And when did you get out of the truck?
I had gotten out of the truck after they said everybody was okay. I got out and I walked to the front of the red SUV, and that's when someone said call 911.
When you got out of the truck, where were they located?
They were located, one, from my knowledge that I remember, one was in front of the truck next to me, and I don't know where the other one was.
Now, did you have an opportunity to observe their demeanor?
Yes, they looked shocked, is the way I could explain it.
And I believe, Ms. Ickes, you stated that at some point you called 911?
Yes, ma'am.
When was it that you called 911?
Right after someone said to call 911.
And where were you when you called 911?
Right in front of the ice machine, standing in front of the red truck.
After you were on the phone with 911, did rescue and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office members arrive on scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever see anyone else get out of the SUV or be taken out of the SUV?
Not that I noticed, no.
And Ms. Ickes, were you eventually asked to wait inside at the Gate gas station?
Yes, ma'am.
And eventually, did you speak with a police officer that night?
I spoke to a detective, yes.
Have a moment, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Stroll across.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a moment, Judge. Good afternoon, Ms. Ickes. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Safe to say, pretty chaotic scene that night?
Yes, sir.
People running around back and forth?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Were you a little shaken up yourself?
Yes, sir.
Ever been through anything like that before?
Never.
Ever have a car pull up next to you with bullet holes in it?
Never.
Ever been around anything that had bullet holes in it?
No,
Now, you actually work in the auto industry, auto parts?
I do.
Okay. How long have you done that?
Over a year.
Okay. And over a year now or then?
Now.
Okay. Back then, isn't it true when the red SUV pulled up next to you, they didn't come screeching their brakes or coming in fast or revving the engine? They kind of drove in. You didn't even notice they pulled in. True?
True, because I was on the phone. I really wasn't paying attention to it.
Right. And if a truck pulls in next to you at a high rate of speed and brakes hard, you would have looked over and noticed that, correct?
Yes.
And that did not happen, did it?
No, I just saw it out of my peripheral.
And the car was already stopped. Or the truck was already stopped, excuse me.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that aspect, you actually look over and say, is everybody okay? And you get no response. Isn't that true?
No, someone had said yes.
Okay. And then nobody asked you to call 911 until you get out of your vehicle, correct?
Correct.
And you were in your vehicle for 30 seconds, a minute, still talking to your friend?
Roughly, yes.
Because matter of fact, you were telling your friend, oh my God, there's a truck next to me shot up.
Exactly.
All right. You're telling her kind of the story of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. You get out.
Yes.
They then tell you to call 911.
Yes.
And you said they seemed scared and shocked.
Just
something like that.
shocked.
Okay.
Like,
Did you call 911?
I did.
When you're on the phone with 911, are you still in almost a panic because of what's going on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you watching what other people are doing?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you keeping track of where people are coming and going?
No, sir.
And you said you're in front of the ice machine, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can't testify, nor would you testify, where anybody was standing or where they were?
No, sir.
Now, when you called 911, did anybody have a cell phone in their hand?
Not that I recall.
All right. Do you recall which gentleman, what they looked like who asked you to call 911?
No, I do not.
Do you see what side of the truck they got out of?
All I remember is a gentleman getting out of the front passenger seat.
Okay. And that was the person that told you to call 911?
I do not recall who told me to
Oh,
call
I'm sorry, I
911.
apologize. You just remember him getting out.
Right.
What about the driver? Where'd he go?
I do not recall.
Even to this day, would you recognize him?
No.
Now, you were on scene for quite a while. I think they wouldn't even let you leave, correct?
Correct.
And one of the officers even said you had parked on some casings?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. You were driving your boyfriend's truck, correct?
No, I was driving my company vehicle.
All right. And did you have a chance when I did your depo to look over and have it reviewed? I think Mr. Guy read you the police report?
Yes.
And in that report, it was inaccurate. They said it was your boyfriend's truck, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't.
Right.
Did you ever tell him it was your boyfriend's truck?
No.
Okay. Now, after you get off the phone with 911, did you ever give your phone to somebody else to call 911, anything like that?
No, sir.
Did you ever give it to any of the guys driving the truck?
No.
You actually went in the store, correct?
Yes.
And at that point, did you call your boyfriend and tell him what was going on?
Yes.
Okay. And that was inside Gate Gas Station?
Yes.
How long were you inside Gate Gas Station talking to your boyfriend on the phone?
Talking to him on the phone,
Yes.
I had kept him updated throughout the whole process.
Okay. Telling him what's going on?
Right, because he was my manager at work where I was working, so I had to keep him updated on what was going on.
Okay. And do you recall where you were standing inside the Gate Gas Station when they brought you in?
I was standing in front of the counter.
Okay. And I know, and again, that gate's kind of odd. You walk in on an angle, and it's an L shape. Do you remember where in the L shape you were in relation?
Right in the corner
Okay.
of the two spots.
So as soon as you walked into the door, right there on your left,
Yes, sir.
right next to a cash register?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that there's video surveillance there?
Yes.
Okay. You aware if there's even audio surveillance there?
I am not aware.
Okay. But when you were in the store waiting to even talk to the police, you were still on the phone?
Yes.
Kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, even afterwards and you're in the store a length of time, it's still a chaotic, crazy scene?
Yeah.
People coming in and out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're still on the phone talking to your boyfriend?
Throughout the process, yes, not the whole time.
Correct. And how long of a time frame were you in the Gate Gas Station?
I believe they let me go around 9 o'clock.
Okay. And you had got there obviously just after 7:40 when the shots were fired?
Right around there, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how long you were outside before they told you to go inside?
No, sir.
And the officers never physically separated people. They just said, don't talk about it, correct?
Right.
But people were still talking inside the store?
Not about what had happened, but people were conversating, yes.
Right. And you were on your cell phone?
Not the whole time, but periodically.
No, I agree. But
Really?
you were using your...
Really? What were they talking about? People were talking, but not about this. Well, what about?
Cell phone?
Yes.
Were other people using their cell phone?
I don't recall.
All right. Were you even paying attention if they were?
No.
Okay. So we're not saying they weren't, you just don't know if they were because you weren't looking?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever do anything else other than what you've testified and what you told the police?
No.
And everything you've said here today is what you told the officers?
Yes.
Okay. And again, just for clarification, you couldn't identify any of the men in the SUV?
No, sir.
And again, you don't know what they were doing or where they were?
Nope.
Even prior to you going into the store?
No.
Even while you were in the store?
I mean, the group of people who they put in the gas station, we were all kind of in the same area.
Right.
In the front of the store.
And again, you don't know what's going on outside?
No.
But you do say people are still coming and going, it's a chaotic scene?
Right.
Nothing further, Judge, thank you.
Ms. Wilson, anything?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Ickes, you just stated, in response to one of Mr. Stroll's questions, that you were on the phone with your boyfriend?
In the gas station?
In the gas station?
Yes.
Ma'am. And that he was your assistant manager at the time?
Yes.
Were you happy to explain to him where you were and where your work truck was?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
May she be excused?
Yes, Your
A
Honor.
new sub,
Yes, Your Honor.
look.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're excused. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude things for today. It's about 5:15.
What is this? What is this name? Hole in Naomi. Holy Naomi. There we go. Hi.
And as I mentioned to you, we will resume tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So yes, you can put your notes in your envelope there.
Resume
And then,
tomorrow morning at 9
Jay will
o'clock?
Take custody of those for the evening. And then you'll be able to go back to the jury room to pick up whatever belongings
Yeah,
you
maybe
have and then
that's-
be transported back to your accommodations. And thank you
probably
for
the
your time and
perfect
attention this
Close point.
afternoon and into the early evening. And we'll look forward to seeing you all.
Yeah, into the early evening. I mean, I think all we've really got to do now is the closing arguments, which are pretty good. And yeah, there's some news publications around the case that are also very good. More jail calls, more letters. So there's a little bit more to go. But we're here. We have been here today, and we'll be here again tomorrow with you on True Crime Metrix. Where's our close button? We need a close button. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting, chatting, super chatting, moderating, and everything else you do. Thank you.